All right, we are back with the finals of the League of RIT Collegiate Tournament in November. I am Graham, and this is Alex, and we are here with teams Troupe de Solomer and Rift Battalion. Rift Battalion is going to be taking the Summoner's Rift on the blue side, and Troupe de Solomer is going to be starting out on purple side.
Yeah, this will be a best of 5 to see who will be representing League of RIT in the League of Legends Collegiate Circuit. So this will definitely be a really exciting match.
Absolutely. So we are ready to start, so I'm just going to let the players know that we can begin. And we will get right into this as soon as the lobby begins. Anyway, so we did see Troupe de Solomer do very well. They won both their games yesterday, as well as Rift Battalion. I believe Troupe de Solomer's last game was against Aztec War Gods, and they won that relatively handily. And we are getting into Champion Select, so let's begin with that. First band coming out from Rift Battalion is Oriana. We did see that very strong yesterday.
Yeah, it looks like the blue team just wants to ban out just champions they don't want to deal with at first. The Olaf fan.
Yeah, these are both champions that Troupe de Solomer used successfully yesterday, so I can see some target bans coming out. And Nasus and Driven, I believe Troupe de Solomer banned those both in their last game yesterday as well.
Yep.
Which is interesting because
I believe Nasus was a house for one of Rift Battalion's games yesterday. So that was definitely probably a target ban. But Nasus was banned for almost all of the matches yesterday for Troupe Solomer anyway.
And a Vayne ban coming out for Rift Battalion. So we'll see how that goes down. I believe that was against Troupe de Solomer last game, and I believe that team actually lost. So I'm interested in what the reasoning behind that is. I'm not sure whether or not they just don't want to deal with the Vayne, or whether they think it's going to be specifically against a team comp that they're planning on running.
Right, and it looks like the last ban coming out for Purple Team was Shyvana. It looks like that was definitely a target ban.
Absolutely.
And first pick, we got Jarvan the fourth for Blue Team. We have an auto-lock Lucian on the purple side.
Plumber did pick Lucian last game into AD carry, so we may be seeing that again. That was very successful for him, so that's... I wonder if they're going to try and run a similar team comp.
Well, they don't have the Olaf anymore, so that might be a little hard for them to do. They might pick a similar champion that might be able to do about the same thing. We have an Ashe and Zyra coming out.
That
like they're going for a Vulcan tech bargains.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bot lane right here.
The Lee Sin coming out for Troop de Solo Mare is interesting. I have not seen anyone on their team play Lee Sin, so I don't know how that's going to go down. I don't know what their specific playstyle is. The Lucian Lulu combo was very successful. Oh, Kassadin. Kassadin was not banned at this match, so that's going to be very interesting.
The first time this weekend. Yeah.
I'm not sure who they're going to be able to pick out that can do well against Kassadin. Kassadin is extremely strong right now.
Yep.
So.
And once again, it looks like Purple Team is picking on a very mobile team comp. Like yesterday, we saw them pick Gragas and Olaf and Lucian and Lulu and all these other very strong mobile champions to be able to run around the map. And it looks like they're doing the same thing again, minus a couple other champions. Like they're substituting Kassadin over Gragas, and they're substituting Lee Sin over Olaf.
But that Lucian Lulu bot lane is exactly the same as yesterday, and that was extremely successful. They put a lot of pressure on zoning in that 2v1 in the very beginning, and once they got back to a 2v2 lane, they were also very successful. So we'll see. Fizz coming out against that Kassadin. Fizz is considered to be one of Kassadin's best counters since he can dodge the silence and lock him down and do that auto attack damage. So we'll see how that lane plays out, because Kassadin is extremely strong, like we mentioned before, but against one of his biggest counters, it may be a skill matchup.
Yeah, Fizz is also a fairly good champion in general, especially with the team comp that they have. There's going to be a lot of lockdown happening on the blue side, giving Fizz the ability to just throw down his ultimate to kind of supplement an initiation.
And the Jax pick coming out for Rift Battalion, that's interesting. I don't think we saw that in the last match, but we did see, on the other hand, we saw a Renekton against Troop de Solo Mare. So they won that in the 2v1, but I'm not sure whether or not that is going to go... Actually, considering the fact that they don't have the Olaf, maybe they're planning on working the same sort of thing with the Renekton diving into the center of the team into a Lulu ultimate. That's very likely, as well as maybe a Lee Sin Q in, or a War Jump.
To be honest, I was half expecting an Udyr. Udyr could have definitely filled the same spot that Olaf was filling in that team comp. He does have a lot of movement speed. His W does give him the ability to run through enemy minions, and a little micro dash that allows him to dash on and stun an enemy champion, which could be a very strong initiation if combined with the movement speed from Lulu.
Absolutely. And we are finished with the champion select and swapping process, so we are allowed to show summoner spells now. So it does look like that Lucian is going to go bot lane with Lulu, of course with that cleanse, because he does not want to be caught up by Zyra and Ashe, absolutely. And I believe he can also cleanse off the Fizz ultimate. He can drop the fish on the ground.
But to be honest, a lot of the problems that's going to be happening, it looks like he's only going to be able to cleanse off the stun from Jax or maybe a snare from Zyra, because most of the other CC he can cleanse off with his E. Lucian's E takes off all slows.
Yeah, well, he still can't get rid of the snare or the stun from the Ashe ultimate. And being able to drop that Fizz ultimate is really... It's going to be really important for him, because that's got 1.0 AP scaling. That is an absolutely phenomenally damaging skill that he does not want to have on himself as a fish, squishy AD carry, fishy AD carry. Yep, he does not want that fish on him.
No.
Anyway, so I'm somewhat interested on what they're planning on doing with that Jax. Jax is a pretty powerful laner against a 2v1, since he can avoid a lot of that Lucian and Lulu auto attack harass with his Counter-Strike.
Yep.
And of course, if you, like I said before, I think yesterday, if you leave Jax alone, he's just going to push that lane. He's going to get a turret. He's going to get another turret.
Yeah.
He's going to get as far as possible. And since he's such an extremely strong duelist, you can't really just send one person after him.
Yep.
Kassadin, however, is really mobile, so we may be able to see some Kassadin shutting down Jax early. We'll see.
I'm actually really looking forward to see Blue Team's team composition. Because there is a lot of AoE in here. There's a lot of AoE CC that I really like to see. Jarvan Ultimate will be able to encase a lot of people to maximize the amount of people that are CC'd by Zyra's Ultimate. And even in the reverse sense, if Zyra gets a lot of people inside the ultimate and knocks up, then Jarvan will be able to encase a couple people within the ultimate that are already knocked up by Zyra Ultimate. And then you'll be able to have Fizz jump into the Jarvan Ultimate, jump out of the Jarvan Ultimate, throw his ultimate in there. There's a lot of wombo combos happening on the blue team. And I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, they do have a lot of AoE CC. Actually, everyone on their team has some form of AoE CC.
Yeah.
Jarvan has his knock-up, Ashe has her stun and her slows, Zyra has the knock-up and the snare, Jax has his counter-strike stun, and Fizz has his AoE slow and his ultimate.
Yep.
So yeah, there is a ton of lockdown on that team versus a team that is very mobile and very able to disengage. So we'll see which team manages to pull it out.
As we go into the loading screen.
Yeah, our game is starting in just a second. We're taking a minute to load. Anyway, so
as we go into loading screen, which is currently a black screen for us.
Yeah, I'm somewhat interested in seeing what Troupe de Solomare may be doing with this, because like I said, we saw it's a relatively similar team come to what we saw last time. A lot of disengage and a lot of ability to catch people out, and their first two bans were the exact same first two bans that they had in their last game.
Yep.
On the other hand, they did mix up the team comp quite a lot. While the general strategy may be the same, the only picks that have stayed consistent are Lucian and Lulu, which they showed to be really dominant in the bottom lane.
I mean, what's different about this team comp is that Renekton, his ultimate can kind of say, I have my ultimate on. Lulu, you don't have to ult me. You can ult Lee Sin or Kassadin if you want.
Yeah, there's a lot of just flat health grant bonuses that they can apply here. There's a shield as well. 2 shields, actually. So I don't think we're going to be seeing many people dying from Ignite.
Yep, so it's definitely a very interesting team fight. Both teams have a very, very interesting team fight. Because if we see about the same Lulu build as we did last time, we'll see a lot of AoE slows on targeted on different champions. We'll see a lot of displacement, especially from Lee Sin. And we'll see a lot of I guess, stuff.
Yeah,
I was thinking of something and then I just lost it.
They have a really strong disengage with the kick and the ward jumps from Lee Sin, the dash on Lucian, the Kassadin ultimate and the slow, Lulu's CC and her speed boost, and of course Renekton's slice and dice.
Yep.
But I'm interested. It seems to be just like whoever is going to be able to get the jump on the other team, because we've already gone over how much lockdown Rift Battalion has with their team comp.
Yeah, it looks like Rift Battalion really just wants to keep Team Solomare from really disengaging. Zyra Ultimate combined with Jarvan could really lock down a lot of champions and just say, we're fighting you, you're not going anywhere.
Absolutely. It's...
Because although Renekton, Lucian... Well, actually, I say we look back at a lot of the champions that we have, they have a lot of abilities that can kind of disengage. But if they don't have, I guess if they don't have the right targets, especially if you have like a Lucian who is like in the middle of a Zyra ultimate, or like a Lee Sin that doesn't have someone he can safeguard onto.
Like a ward jump.
Yeah, ward jump.
We'll see if we get any insect plays here.
We'll try to see the insect mechanics. Purple team does have a good job of disengaging. It's just blue team has to make sure that they don't disengage and that they just stay on top of them.
Like I said before, that this seems to be like it's just going to be whoever can get the jump on the other team. But now that I think about it, it seems more like it's going to be whoever can burn the other team's skills first.
Yep.
If they can manage to get out that Zyre ultimate without any actual consequence, then Troupe de Solomare can just engage straight there, and that is a huge AoE CC that is just gone. Same thing with the Fizz ultimate. If they manage to dodge that or cleanse it off, that is absolutely a boon for them.
Yep, definitely.
On the other hand, if they manage to get rid of Lulu's ultimate or Renekton's ultimate or something beforehand, if they can just wait out the duration of that, they can engage again there. And
yeah, that is one of the biggest downsides to Lulu. If Lulu doesn't get off a good ultimate, her ult, like, it's useless. Like, you can have someone like a Lee Sin or a Kassadin can displace themselves to see if they can still get the aura slow, but the biggest part about Lulu's ultimate is that initial knockup.
Mm-hmm.
And if she can't get off an initial knockup, she's basically wasted her ultimate.
Well, unless she uses it to save someone, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. But still, you're still losing a lot of CC. Mm-hmm. And we are into Summoner's Rift.
Absolutely. So, let us just quickly rearrange the team compositions. We do see... Sorry.
Jarvan was the...
There we go.
There we go.
A lot of blue pings on that top river, so I'm not sure if they want to go for... Yeah, they are moving their way up there. They may try and invade that red team top jungle. Probably going that way to avoid any potential wards that red team might want to place in the river. But it doesn't look like they're going to be moving in that direction or warding it in the first place.
It looks like red team is also making pings to the opposing jungle.
Both teams just wandering into the other team's jungle over by the red side. Waiting there, seeing if they can maybe catch anyone out, seeing if they're going to discover anything. There is a ward for blue team over by their blue buff.
Yep.
So, if anyone tries to move over there instead of out of the red side of the jungle, they will get spotted out.
It looks like they're just going to exchange jungle buffs at this point.
Yeah. Both teams are sitting there. It doesn't look like anyone's making any moves that could get them caught by the other team. Both teams are just advancing to the other team's buffs. It looks like they're just going to trade.
Looks like there's the flag checking the bush, and they find nothing there.
Yep.
You have the bottom lane backing.
Renekton backing on top, so I'm wondering if he might end up getting caught out by blue team if he goes to check that red buff, or maybe if he waits in that tri-bush.
So we did say a back from Renekton, so it doesn't look like red team is going to go with a two versus one lane.
Yeah.
In the top lane again, it looks like they're just going to have standard lanes. Jungle buffs are spawning, and it looks like they're just going to trade red buffs here.
Absolutely. Kassadin making his way over to mid, probably going to try and get a quick advantage on that Fizz, of course, as whoever really hits level 6 in that lane first has a huge advantage. Both of those characters power striking. They just power spike extremely hard at level 6. But, of course, Fizz does manage to dodge out the silence and get a decent amount of damage down on that Kassadin, so burn a pot.
Fizz wasting no time trying to get that harass down. Kassadin does have a little bit of range on Fizz with that silence, and he has to time it well, because if he times it while his pull is active, he won't be able to really get any harass down.
They are seeing some zoning though. Kassadin isn't going for any of those far minions. Fizz does have the opportunity to Playful Trickster out the silence if he doesn't just engage with Urchin Strike like he did right there. Anyway.
Let's take a look.
We are seeing a lot of damage coming down from Fizz in this extended engage. Both sides brought extremely low.
Let's take a look top lane. So we're not entirely focused on that bottom lane. Renekton getting a lot of harass down on this Jax. It looks like Renekton really just wants to force Jax out of lane.
Yeah, he wants to bully him back to the tower and make him miss CS under tower. Of course, this minion wave is pushing extremely hard towards Kassadin's lane, and he does not really have enough AP to have very strong wave clear yet, so we are probably going to see him getting denied quite a bit under tower.
Looks like we might have a tower dive top lane. Let's go and check that out.
Lee Sin and Renekton both under
Stun
tower.
goes down. 2 ignites. First blood goes to Renekton from the ignite, and he's able to get out of turret range.
Comes very close to dying to minions there, but does manage to make it out with the help of that health potion.
That was a very good engage for Red Team. With the wards they had placed in the early game, or at least the wards that Lulu had placed during the laning phase, was able to spot Jarvan while he was down bottom lane. They said, okay, Jarvan spot lane.
The ignite comes out on both sides, but the damage over time from Fizz's W is just too much for Kassadin to handle, and he does get taken down. A lot of poke going down onto that Zyra. We may see a kill coming out sometime soon if they can manage to catch her out. But at the moment, both teams are just backing off behind their minion waves and sitting it out. Jarvan coming down onto this Lee Sin top lane. Does get the slow. Flashes the knock-up. Jarvan's going to be chasing a little bit. Lee Sin actually re-engaging.
Looks like he's just harassing a bit, but Jarvan is...
And the kill coming down on Zyra. Like we said, she moved just a little bit too far forward and ended up getting caught out. Jax and Renekton trading auto attacks. And
looks like he was just trying to disengage for Lee Sin there. Both junglers taking very low. No one really had an advantage in that fight.
Yeah. Renekton is getting quite a few hits off on this Jax, who isn't even really trying to retaliate. Looks like he just realizes he can't quite match that damage yet until he scales up a little bit.
Yeah, he's just trying... Looking at his build, he's just trying to stay in lane at this point. He has a cloth armor and a crystal and flask, so he knows he's going to get harassed. He just wants to resist that damage and farm as much as he can.
Trying to stun Renekton under the tower, but does manage to slice and dice away from the stun. And of course, Renekton's now just farming behind tower. Jarvan is making his way up.
He is in that tri-bush. They might be able to catch him out here. This is a really bad position for Renekton. Fizz is coming in from the side. He might not be able to get out of this. There comes the knockup from Jarvan, and a dash coming in from Fizz. The flash over the wall, and he might actually be able to make it out of here.
Yeah, it looks like that flash was very well timed. He waited until Fizz got there. Kassadin, I believe, might have called the MIA, so he knew that Fizz was coming.
Jarvan is actually coming in from the side there. Let's try to go back, because Renekton might actually go down here.
A lot of harass going down bot lane.
Renekton is a little too slippery of an alligator, these guys to catch up with, and he does make it out okay, and he's walking back up the top lane.
Kick coming out from Lee Sin, and they are going to go for a very early dragon on this. This is a 7-minute dragon. Jax manages to get... tries to get the stun off, but Renekton does manage to stun him and slice and dice away before he gets off. First dragon goes out for Troop de Solo Mare, and they are now extending that gold advantage. They have almost a 3k gold advantage at this point, which is really strong. They have almost 50% more gold at 7 minutes. That is huge. With 2 kills and a dragon.
Yeah, especially with champions like Fizz, who gets out of control late game, along with Ashe, who also does the same thing. They really want to get a gold advantage early so that they can give items to Kassadin, so that Kassadin can shut down Fizz.
If Kassadin can get a kill on Fizz and start to roam, he is going to be such a strong global presence, just because his mobility is absolutely insane.
We have a whole software update being
Anyway, more harass coming down on Ashe, but he does manage to... Zyra catching out Lulu, the flash coming out on Zyra, Jarvan knocking up Lulu under the tower, and does manage to get the kill in the dive.
Yep. That was a very good dive.
Lucian ultimate coming down. There are 3 very low people here. Kassadin picks up 1 kill, 2nd kill getting picked up, and the 3rd kill getting picked up by Lee Sin. Renekton diving under tower. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch that Jack, so he's just going to farm behind tower, see if he can get that turret early, and maybe start to put on some pressure in other lanes.
One thing is for certain, that was really bad for blue team. It was really good for red. It was
a really unfortunate chain of occurrences. Kassadin roamed down, and with that pink ward that red team has in the dragon bush, they didn't really catch Kassadin until he was in tri-bush, and by that point it was a bit too late.
Yep. Jack's popping all 3 stacks of, or charges of his Crystal and Flash, trying to heal back up. But sadly, the turret's going to go down on top lane.
There are 3 people top. I don't think Renekton realizes that Fizz and Jarvan are here. Does manage to get the stun from the counter-strike. Troll Pull does get the slowdown and the knockup from Jarvan, and it looks like they are going to secure this kill.
He doesn't have Flash here, so the kill is going to go to Jax.
Maybe Jax is going to be able to scale off this now. Does look like he's going to pressure this turret a bit with Jarvan. See if they can pick that up in exchange for the turret that they got before. Bot lane still pressured towards blue side, but Lucian isn't here, so they may be trying to push that back out.
Should probably take a look at the Magi Soul Stealer being built on Kassadin.
Yeah, it looks like he is hedging his bets on being able to snowball this game early. He already does have 2 kills and 1 assist.
But he does have 1 death, and that's probably going to be really important for him, because if he can't get those stacks, that Magi Soul Stealer was a waste of gold that could have gone to like a blasting wand.
Well, the death was before the Soul Stealer was purchased, so we'll see. Lucian and Lulu just pushing this wave hard. They really want to deny under tower. Ashe just doesn't have the pushing power that Lucian has, even with her volley. A lot of poke coming down. The snare going down onto Lulu over by Tribush.
Lucian is going to follow up and deal a massive amount of damage onto Zyra. His ultimate gets stunned by Ashe. He can get 1 more auto attack, and he gets the kill on top of Zyra. Lucian is trying to use his combo, get as much damage as he got, but here comes the barrier from Ashe, and Jarvan is coming in from behind. He ultimates and just dunks. Come on and slam. Welcome to the jam. Get dunked.
Okay, I'm not even going to comment on that. Another ultimate does manage to get the stun on Jax and the slice and dice, but he gets knocked out by the counter strike before he can chase. That is the 2nd time that has happened now. Jax is going to get away again. He does have that 1 death, but that is the only one so far, despite Renekton really doing much more damage than him at this point. Anyway, it looks like Red Team is going to try and put a lot of pressure on this tower. Lee Sin finding Jarvan in the bush and manages to combo him down before any retaliation can happen.
Oof.
Renekton pressuring now on this inner turret in top lane. He is just such a scary alligator at this point. Looks like he is going to go for the dive here. The flash slice and dice and a 2nd slice and dice for the kill.
Yep. This is a really hard game for Jarvan right now. Jarvan is only level 6, and we look at the rest of Team Solomare, and they're at least, at minimum, 2 levels on him.
Looks like a hard engage coming down. The Kassadin ultimate. The Fizz ultimate does lock him down, and he is going to go back in. He manages to pick off the kill with a Sea Stone Trident. That percent missing health damage over time is so strong.
Yep.
Jarvan coming down on Renekton under the tower, but it looks like Renekton's going to back off. Not going to fight. Just wants to get that pressure off of that tower.
Is
Lulu
he DC'd?
Lulu may have disconnected here, and the game has been paused. So, not quite sure what is happening so far. He has reconnected at this point, so we'll see if the blue team decides to pardon him. We are seeing Lee Sin saying not to kill Lulu, and it looks like blue team is agreeing. So, that, I guess, is a fair trade.
Yep.
Makes sense not to kill the person who's disconnected, unfortunately, so we'll see.
So, to take a look back at the game, it's looking like a really hard time for Jarvan right now. Jarvan is at least two levels below each member of Red Team right now. They're putting so much pressure on the map that he literally has to be everywhere at once. He can't stop to farm his jungle, and that's apparent. Look, he has 23 farm at 12 minutes. Mm-hmm. He's barely been into his jungle long enough to just go and farm maybe 1 camp and then have to rush to a lane because Red Team is just pushing out those lanes very, very well.
Lee Sin has 40 farm, but he has 2 more assists and 2 less deaths, and he's able to just put down so much more global pressure at this point. He's just generally a bit more mobile than Jarvan. Mm-hmm. And he does have a kill on the enemy jungler, in fact, in his own jungle. That combined with the fact that Red Team does have a dragon, and they have a first turret. So, That is a lot more global gold. They are up over 6k at 12 minutes. That is 50% more gold. Lulu is going to flash out, even though they did agree not to kill her, but that's okay. Just making sure that he is safe in this exchange. Conflict's going down on both sides. Lucian does manage to get caught out, but it looks like he's going to escape. Clearing the minion wave before it reaches the turret with the culling, and looks like he's just going to hug tower at this point and hope to survive. Checking the bush.
He really wants that kill on Ashe. Ashe was taken very low, and that ultimate would have gotten it if the minion wave had not been in the way.
Zyra does manage
he's
to
getting
catch
a little
him
bit
out.
too greedy.
He gets knocked back.
He gets knocked up, but it looks like he's going to make it out okay. Look like Zyra has enough damage. She doesn't pick up a Cage's lucky pick, so it doesn't look like she'll have a lot of damage.
And that turret is almost dead. It looks like he's just going to leave minions to take that out. Maybe back off now that he has a little bit more gold.
Yep.
Fizz does go down in mid lane to Renekton.
Yep, this Renekton is definitely scary right now.
The counter-strike going down on the low health Renekton. Kasten chasing on the Jarvan. The kill goes to Lee Sin, and now there are 3 people. Oh my god.
Oof.
The Rift Walk under the tower, picking off the low health Jax, and it looks like they're going to now take this mid tower. That is the 3rd tower that Red Team has picked up this game. That is almost a 10k gold lead at 14 minutes.
Yeah, this is turning out to be a really good game for Red Team. They're doing a lot of things very well that they've been doing a lot in the other games. Losing the Gragas and taking out the Gragas and losing the Olaf doesn't seem to be much of a loss for them. They're still doing a very good job of pushing the turrets, putting pressure in all the lanes, and forcing that jungler to basically stay out of the jungle and go into the lanes as opposed to farming his jungle. And it is keeping him underleveled at this point. Jarvan is the lowest level on blue team right now.
Lee Sin going in on Ashe. She does manage to flash over the wall, and Fizz engages to just keep him back. There are now 3 people here versus 2. And it looks like Jarvan's just going to be putting down a bit of damage.
Coming in for the
Lucian
back.
approaching, doing a lot of damage to that Zyra, but he does get exhausted. Jarvan getting a kill on Lulu. They are just chasing down that Lee Sin, who is very low health at this point. Looks like Lucian's going to manage to escape 4 people. Kasten picking up the first kill on Zyra with an almost instant burst down.
Looks like he's also going to get the kill on Fizz here with an Ignite and a little bit of his basic ability combos.
That Nether Pulse is just an extremely strong skill. It's got huge scaling to make up for the fact that it's really only available when enemies cast skills nearby.
Yep.
This is now 6 and 14. All 3 outer turrets are down. This is going to be extremely difficult for blue side. Though they are holding out relatively well. Another bot turret getting pressured in. Jax is trying to hold out the mid lane against Kasten. Looks like this bot turret is going to go down.
At this point, blue team is just having a very hard time keeping up with the pressure. Red team was able to snowball.
And the Jarvan ultimate going down onto Lucian. Lee Sin safeguarding in. But it looks like they are just going to slow him and damage him far too much to stay in. The Lee Sin dashing in with his Q. Fizz just showing up for that presence, try and get that
yeah, Fizz is definitely the scariest member on blue team right now. He was able to fight out and kill Kassadin at least 2 times, so...
A Kassadin combo coming down almost kills Ashe. The Flash and Dragon's Rage from Lee Sin. Absolutely annihilating that Ashe. Unfortunately enough for her, she just had too little health, and Lee Sin's Flash was up. It was within range. Anyway, looks like they are going to try to pressure this a bit. Lucian is backing. This is now a 3v3. Biz playful trickstering in, but does manage to get taken out by Lee Sin. Jax does manage to take out that Lulu in the back line. Kasten just being completely ignored over here. He's managing to do a ton of damage.
It looks like blue team is just trying to get as many kills as they possibly can here. They're really behind in kills, and even those kills going to Zyra will be able to get them ahead in gold a little bit.
It looks like Lulu did actually, unfortunately enough, disconnect there in that fight with Jax. Though, in all honesty, I'm not sure that he would have not been able to take her out had she been connected. So that is just unfortunate. Looks like she is reconnected now. She is walking back out. That Ashe is going to get caught by the Renekton.
Is diving those Nexus turrets, getting a little too greedy. He knows he's ahead in gold and really thinks he can get that kill, but the disengage from Fizz and Jarvan are going to say, we're gonna get you now.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is...
Jarvan's just going to try beating him up. It looks like he will be... Nope. The ultimate coming down, and Jax does pick up the kill.
Yep.
Anyway, looks like blue team just wants to push out these waves now that have been pushed all the way down to their inhibitor turrets. Protect that mid lane. Top lane's inner turret, sorry, has already been taken down. That is a 9-kill advantage and a 13k gold lead. That is over 50% for red side. 5 turrets to 0 now. They are making their way over to Baron.
They do have vision control, so this is definitely really good for red team. Red team will definitely be able to secure the win if they are able to get Baron on all of the members of the team. It looks like they're just kind of...
They're trading aggro right now because it is a bit early. They don't have anyone who's extremely tanky that has a lot of lifesteal other than Lucian.
Blue team does kind of moving in the general direction. They have noticed that they've been gone for a long time, but it looks like they're going to be way too late.
They suspect the Baron play, but it is too late. Lucian or Lulu might get caught out. Nope. Looks like they are going to, in fact, catch out the Jarvan here. And pick him off. The Ashe Arrow comes in and does strike Lulu. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to make anything off of it. Nope, the Fizz ultimate comes down onto Lulu. Absolutely demolishes her. It looks like they're going to now focus down the Lee Sin while Lucian does manage to do a ton of damage to everyone in that team fight. Dodging the Zyra ultimate.
Lee Sin does go down, and so far a 2-for-1 in this fight after Kassadin takes out Jax. Renekton takes out Ashe, making it a 2-for-2, and Lucian acing the team. I guess I miscounted there.
That was in fact an ace there. Zyra did go down to Lucian over in the top, which was a bit hard to see, but Jarvan's back up. It looks like he may be able to stop the minion push. Don't know how well he's going to fare against these two extremely strong champions in mid.
Yeah, it's definitely really bad for Jarvan at this point. He's still level 9. This Renekton's level 14, this Kassadin's level 13. There is a massive level gold advantage, and they have Baron buff. The most that Jarvan can do is at least knock them up or keep them or ult them underneath the tower, which he's doing right now, to at least keep them off the tower from hurting it.
Yeah, it looks like he really couldn't do anything to secure a kill there, but he did manage to just hold them off, stop them from getting that second tower in a row. That was an effective play to an extent. They did manage to do that. Looks like Caston and Renekton are just going to grab a couple more creeps and back off to spend all that money they just got.
Yep.
Coming in and stealing the red buff, taking full control of blue team's jungle.
Yep.
And of course, they are now going to rotate over, pressure mid lane again. See if they can make anything back off. Yep. Slaying, or doing their best to kill that ward, do manage to drop a pink ward, so they won't have vision over that wall. And of course, Lucian, Lulu, and Lee Sin just pressuring down this mid lane. This is a 3v5, so they probably won't go for a full engage. The ultimate coming down just to put a decent bit of damage down on Jax and Ashe. Get maybe a couple hits off the turret while they trade aggro back and forth.
Yep.
Caston rift walking in, doing an absolutely incredible amount of damage to that Jarvan. He's going to be out of the fight for the next couple seconds.
Which means red team might be able to take the mid turret here, but Fizz dives in, trying to get a little bit of harass down onto Lucian, but that was clearly a mistake as red team capitalizes on his out of positionness.
Anyway,
and
Caston just diving in with Renekton, doing an absolutely insane amount of damage, managing to burst down everyone. Jarvan does look like he's going to get taken out of it. Nope, he is actually going to EQ away and manage to escape while red team picks off this inhibitor. Yep. Jax is here. Right. Doesn't look like they're going to be chasing him under those two towers. Nope. Lee Sin does manage to get a Q onto Jarvan. Jarvan ultimating Renekton and Lee Sin under the tower. They do manage to take him out, however. Looks like Lee Sin is going to get taken down by the tower, and the kill is going to go over to Jarvan. Dax getting the counter-strike along with Fizz on the left-hand side. Fizz is going to escape with a sliver of health. Renekton manages to pick off the inhibitor in a trade for his own life.
Yep.
Caston just leaping in and out of these fights, bursting down people as soon as his combo's back up. He just has so much damage at this point. He is 11-3. He has 716 AP. That is an incredibly strong Caston. He has 20 stacks on that Soul Stealer.
Yeah. So that is definitely someone you don't want to mess with.
Yeah. There is not much they can really do about him at this point.
I have only seen someone with that much AP once, and it was a Vigar. And Vigar gets that passively. This guy has all that AP from items and masteries and runes.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Ooh.
And just another instant burst coming down. As soon as his combo is up, there's really not much you can do to save yourself from that.
Yeah.
That's really the thing about this. At this point, it's very difficult for blue team to fight out against red team, because they either need to focus everyone down on Caston, or focus on that Lee Sin and that Renekton, who are both very fed, or the Lucian, who's also pretty fed at this point. Everyone on their team is capable of doing a lot of damage, and that's really troublesome because that means there's no one target that they can lock out. But Ashe getting absolutely melted by Lucian and Caston in that fight. Her positioning is just not enough. Lee Sin coming in, the counter-strike coming down onto Lucian, but he does manage to cleanse off the stun immediately. The knockup going down, they do manage to pick off Lucian, but the Rift Walk and the Lee Sin Q do manage to catch him out. Looks like Fizz is now having connection issues. This is really unfortunate for both teams that are having internet problems.
Yep.
But he was... Looks like the game may be over at this point anyway.
We got a surrender vote coming out from blue team. GGs are coming out.
The first game is going to go to Troop de Solomé.
Yep.
Okay. So we will move to a very short intermission, and as
both teams prepare for game 2 of the best of 5.
Absolutely.
People stand alone now, and in the evening the sun sets. Tomorrow it will rise. Time flies by, they all sing along. Time flies by, they all sing along. Time flies by, they all sing along. Time flies by. Come a little closer, then
And we are back again for Game 2 of Legends Collegiate Tournament. We are once again back with Troupe de Solomare, who won the first match against Rift Battalion, and we are looking to see who the victor of the second game will be.
Yep.
We are ready to start, and we are just going to head into Champ Select right now. Once I find my mouse. Anyway, okay, we are starting off this lobby.
So it was definitely a very strong game for Team Solomare last match. We might see some target bans coming out from Rift Battalion, especially.
Yeah, the first ban, once again, is Nasus. They really just don't want to have to deal with that. Probably a specific theme to their team comp, considering that they've banned every one of their games so far.
Yep.
That Lucian is getting target banned out, and another Zyra target ban. That was a really strong force for keeping people alive in that bottom lane.
Yep. Olaf is also banned out, so...
These are, after that Nasus, it looks to be all target bans. The Zyra and the Jarvan target bans down for Rift Battalion, the Lucian and the Olaf bans down for Troupe de Solomare.
Yep.
And that Caston, which was absolutely an unstoppable force.
Yeah, that was definitely for certain.
In that last game.
And it's supposed to be Malphite who has the unstoppable force.
You know, I could make a joke about how Zinja jokes about that, but I'm not going to. Anyway.
Looks like that's Sivir coming out first. It's a fairly strong pick right now. She's definitely a very strong champion.
The base damage on her Q is absolutely insane.
Yep.
Her Boomerang Blade. And that Shyvana getting picked out. That was banned last game, but it looks like we'll be seeing it this game.
Yep.
Looks like maybe...
Maybe it'll be jungle, maybe it'll be top lane. She does well in both positions, so she will be able to definitely put a lot of pressure in wherever she goes.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what they're going to second pick here. Just because all they know is that Sivir has been picked, and there's not many champions that can just absolutely do well against her at the moment, because she does have that spell shield, which is extremely strong.
Yep.
So she does well against common picks like Caitlyn and Varus, and does decently against picks like Ashe.
Yeah, and it's also going to be a very hard support pick to pick against because of that spell shield. Not a lot of supports have multiple abilities that they can use to get rid of that spell shield.
They are going to pick that Lulu into that, and the Sona in response to the Lulu. So I'm interested in that. Maybe the Lulu is planning on dropping her down with any... She has... All of her skills can pop the spell shield, so she may just try to bait that out with one of her skills and then drop a polymorph or drop the slow.
That is definitely for sure. But it might have been a pick to take away from Blue Team, because Blue Team has been doing really, really well with their Lulu-Lucian combination.
Troupe de Solomare has been loving that Lulu pick. Udyr coming out. I'm interested in this. The Udyr, I'm not sure whether it's a response to the Shyvana or whether it's a response to the Lulu, because there's really, so far, with the Elise may be the only person that we're seeing so far that can really do much against Udyr. Udyr is a champion that will absolutely barrel down on you, and you can't really do much to stop him without serious hard CC.
And we do see a Teemo being hovered over.
Tristana, Lulu bot lane, perhaps? That's interesting. That should actually be able to deal with the Udyr, because of course Tristana can rocket jump away, and if needed, she can use her bunker shot.
We have a Jace and a Karma coming out.
This is a really interesting team comp
this is
that we're
definitely
seeing on
interesting.
Troupe de Solomare. We have not seen any of these picks before.
Yep, it definitely seems the same to me. Lucian banned away, and Lulu being picked away, they do lose that Lucian Lulu bot lane, which had a lot of kind of pressure on those turrets.
There was a lot of synergy there.
Yeah,
with the really strong poke from Glitterlance and Lulu's passive.
But now with Sivir, who's a very strong pusher and a lot of AoE damage, she will still be able to pressure those turrets as hard as Lucian did.
She has so much AoE clearing power. So we are now seeing maybe that Shyvana going top lane. Maybe the... we may see the Shyvana going top lane. We may see Elise going into the jungle. That looks like what we're going to see. and Orianna in the mid lane.
Yep.
Versus the top lane Jace and jungle Udyr and mid lane Karma. Like I said, we haven't seen Troop de Solomare pick any of these champions before.
Actually, is that an 80 carry Jace?
No, that's an 80 carry Sivir. Probably. I don't know. We don't see a barrier, so they may just be going for kill potential with the
Maybe.
Ignite.
Maybe.
Honestly,
This team is throwing me off right now.
I do
think
love
they're
80
trolling.
carry Jace. 80
I'm
carry
pretty sure
Jace
they're
is
trolling.
one of my favorite picks, and I'm really disappointed that when the Jace rework does end up going through, they're probably going to get rid of that.
Yep.
But yeah, there's the barrier on that Sivir at the very last second. So that's likely just going to be going 80 carry bot with Sona. Jace going top against the Shyvana. That's going to be an interesting matchup because he's going to be a champion that, despite being a mana champion against a manaless, he has a lot of very strong poke. He's going to be able to deal with Shyvana's damage from her flame breath and her burnout and her twin bite.
Yeah, and once again we see a very common team composition with Team Solomare. It's a very mobile team. You have Karma speed boost, you have Sivir speed boost, you have Sona speed boost, you have speed boost from everyone basically.
Yeah,
and they're all team except for Udyr.
Yeah. And the Jace. Everyone on their team actually has a speed boost gap closer. So that is going to be a team that is just going to drive a train straight into the center of the enemy team if they manage to get an advantage and want to engage. On the other hand, like we said before, we have the disengage from Shyvana, we have the disengage from Orianna and Tristana and Elise. This is once again... Actually, it's reversed this time. Last game, Rift Battalion had a very strong engage comp against Troop de Solomare's disengage comp, and this time we're seeing the exact opposite.
Yep.
We're seeing a very strong disengage comp against a strong engage comp.
Yep.
Although, I guess arguably, you could say that Troop de Solomare also has a strong disengage. They have a lot of like we said, they have a lot of AoE speed boosts, and the AoE stun from Sona's ultimate.
All I really want to see is Udyr getting Captain Boots and a Shirelia's Reverie, and just say, "Onward, team! We're running to victory."
Yeah, I want to see the 800 movement speed Udyr running straight into the enemy team at Mach speed.
Yep. I mean, what also I think is interesting, especially from the purple team, is that you could throw a ball and a Lulu and Orianna ultimate on Elise or Shyvana, which is really scary. That is just an Orianna ultimate on top of an Elise, like dealing a lot of AP damage, and then Elise just having the ability to
untargetable,
execute.
Jumps into the enemy team with the ball.
Oh my god, it's just. Ugh.
There's a lot of potential for plays on both sides at this point.
This might be an actually incredibly exciting match.
It's really just a matter of reaction time at this point. Both of these teams are extremely skilled, and it looks like we'll see which one is able to deal with the other team's kind of ridiculous composition. We are seeing a lot of unconventional picks on both sides. From the Karma, of course, the Tristana pick, that is really not that common at this point.
Well, nowadays it isn't as common, because you still see a lot more Varus picks, a lot more Sivir picks, a lot more Jinx and Lucian picks. Well, not really in the NA scene do we see a lot of Lucian picks. You do see pros like Maple Street picking him every now and then, but he's mostly just a really big pick in
Korea.
Yeah.
We also don't see a lot of Udyr in competitive play. He is going for the flash there, which tells me that he's going for more of a late game oriented Udyr rather than an early game, because early game Ghost just lets you absolutely dominate ganking lanes. But Flash late game is so much more helpful for the ability to just flash bear stance engage, which is interesting to me. I guess they're just hedging on the fact that everyone has speed boosts, and if Udyr needs to gank someone, hopefully he won't need that Ghost. But I'm wondering if, based purely on that flash, obviously, we haven't seen anything else yet. Wondering if he's going to go Phoenix based on that, because Phoenix does tend to be a more late game oriented build path for Udyr.
Since it is a jungle he is a jungle Udyr. Phoenix does have a lot of a faster clear time than Tiger Stance does because a lot of that AoE damage.
A bit faster. Tiger does have the damage over time on the initial activations. That does tend to burn down the big camps, but yeah.
Especially scary to enemy champions when you get red buff. Because
absolutely. The damage over time, and he could just keep chasing that down.
Yep.
But that's not to say that the damage from Phoenix isn't incredibly impressive. The thing about Phoenix rather than Tiger is with Tiger, there's a benefit in stance dancing, whereas in Phoenix, once you get your red buff proc initially, you could just keep on reactivating Phoenix, charging up your Flame Breath. Once you get 3 procs and activate that, activate it again for the initial proc and double proc the Flame Breath, and just do absolutely tons of magic damage in a row there. We are starting to see everyone get into the game.
And we are in Summoner's Rift for Game 2.
Yep. Of the best of 3 between Troupe de
Best of
Solomare.
5.
Best of 5. I'm sorry. That is a best of 5.
Yep.
The best of 5 between Troupe de Solomare and Rift Battalion.
Yeah, and all we can do is really guess of which lanes are going where for...
No. We managed to figure it out.
For blue team.
After plenty of swapping, we managed to figure it out. Anyway, both sides now going into the bottom side river. Looks like some people advancing on Udyr's position, and he is now alone versus 3 people, but he's going to back off. No one wants to really engage. Throwing a Skittering Frenzy Spiderling into that bush, but doesn't look like anyone's going to get hit by skill shots here. Everyone's just going to be just out of range. Both teams. Udyr is now in an awkward position of being between that Shyvana on the left. That Sona has disconnected and reconnected though, so hopefully she will be able to get back into the game before any action happens. We are seeing Lulu walking up probably toward that red buff.
Looks like both teams trying to get a little bit of early damage out. A lot of poking coming down from both sides.
The Explorer ward from Lulu coming down on that red buff, just providing a little more, just a little more safety for that jungle Elise in case Udyr decides to counter jungle. Looks like Udyr is going to start out on red buff.
Just looks like Sivir is mid.
There is a possibility of that. Karma is top. That Jace is down bottom lane with Sona, maybe. This is a really interesting
So
team.
it looks like we're going to have to move around the icons again.
I don't know.
I'll probably go ahead and do that. Because we got a mid Sivir and a top lane Karma.
Yeah, that is interesting. We did suggest the AD carry Jace, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but it is. This is really interesting to me.
I mean, this is still going to be a comp that's going to put a lot of pressure on the turrets. Because Karma does push well, Jace pushes well, and Sona's power cord can be used on turrets, which deals a lot of damage.
That Karma is just putting down so much damage on Shyvana, which we saw before. Really, she's just zoning very well. Karma is a very difficult champion to lane against. She sacrifices sort of a lot of late game presence for an extremely strong early and mid game. She is a very difficult champion to lane against with all of her inner focus and her ultimate affected spells.
She does have a lot of range, and her ability to poke down will definitely zone out Shyvana a little bit. Looks like Elise is going down on top of Karma.
Manage to land the stun on Karma.
Stun lands, Ignite comes out. The movement speed, 2 stuns. And first blood going to Elise. Udyr is coming in from the side. He might be able to get some damage out here. He's popping all of his abilities.
He does get stunned by Elise, and it looks like he is going to back off. Neither team wants to go in for a kill here. Both are very low, and it looks like Udyr is just going to pot up and try and keep this wave clear from reaching the turret.
That first blood does give a little bit of a gold advantage to Rift Battalion, which is a pretty good start for them. They're definitely a good start.
Yeah, the zoning from this Sona Jace is really strong. They have a lot of poke damage from the accelerated shock blast and from the power cord and the Sonic Q. A lot of damage coming down. But it looks like they're going to retreat after they bursted. They really don't... What's interesting about this, it looks like they're not trying to stay in for long-term engages. They just want to get off their skills and get out. They don't want to use up too much mana in this ordeal. Just 1 or 2 spells each. And then, disengage. Getting some zoning coming from Sivir onto that Orianna. She is now up by a significant amount of minions after 5 minutes or so. They really don't want to let that Orianna get ahead because Orianna's scaling is really strong in the middle of the game.
It looks like Karma went back after... Oh, no. She went and picked up another Doran's Ring, so she is going to be able to stay in lane a little bit longer, especially with her heal and the mana regen after she kills
minions.
The enemy unit.
Mm-hmm.
So Udyr's coming
down in on
here.
bot lane, but it doesn't look like there's going to be much follow-up from the blue side.
Bear form, Bear stun is popped. Getting a little bit of damage onto Lulu.
And the
it looks like red team
retaliation
is going to
from
be able to retaliate and probably get a kill here, maybe?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, a lot of damage coming down though from that Jace and
a pause coming out.
Sona has disconnected, unfortunately, which seems to be the source of that the unfortunate lack of follow-up.
Yeah.
We'll see if anything happens here, if both teams are just going to retreat as soon as they regain connection.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, it looks like Sona has reconnected, so maybe they're going to go back in.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. Anyway, right now, what we can point out, that Karma, she did lose a kill, but she's going for the early game build with the 2 Duran's rings. She looks like everyone's reconnected and everything's copacetic. The gank coming down from Elise the second time onto Karma does manage to land another stun. And it looks like they are going to dive this onto the 100 health or so Karma for the second kill. Another Jace Q coming down, and it get exhausted before he can do anything to that low health Tristana, and takes a significant chunk of damage there.
If there's one thing to note about this game, is that already right off the bat, that red team is doing a significantly better job than they did last game.
Yeah, it seems like they know what to expect this game
Yep.
and know how to react to the types of plays that blue team's going to make.
One thing for certain is that they picked a lot of champs that can easily push lanes and push back whatever pressure that blue team puts out.
Yeah, which is definitely a reaction to last game. Last game we saw Troop de Solomare picking a lot of champions that are very strong at control, very good with early objectives, and now we're seeing champions that are able to react to that. The Elise gank coming down on Sivir does not pick up a kill there. It looks like they're going to be backing off, just putting down a bit of damage while they go clear that wave that is pressing on the mid turret. Sona heals coming out, trying to keep that Jace up as he takes a bit of poke from Tristana early on. Of course, Udyr coming down in the mid lane here. The snare going down on Shyvana, a lot of early damage from Karma. And it looks like neither team... This Tristana has shown how much damage that she really does have at this point. She does have additional range.
And another disconnect from Sona, probably.
This is really unfortunate. This support player for Rift Battalion has... Or sorry, not Rift Battalion. The support player for
Team Solomare.
Troop de Solomare has now had some significant internet issues, and we're really hoping that this doesn't impact the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
Of course, we will see what happens in the end, whether they decide to remake it or not. I believe it is in the rules that they are able to remake it if they do decide so we'll see. That Orianna looks like she's just going... She picked up an early tier, and it looks like she's now going to pick up a flask, just so that she can maybe hold out and keep on wave clearing against Sivir. Sivir does have a huge amount of wave clear, both with her Boomerang Blade and with her Ricochet shots.
Yep.
So it looks like it's just going to be a battle of attrition in mid lane. top lane that Shyvana has picked up her, I believe she started out with the, what is it called? The Null Magic Mantle against that Karma. She's picked up a longsword and a cloth armor. I'm wondering about the cloth armor. I'm wondering if that goes into something that specifically that she was planning on building, or if that's just a general pick to stop the magic damage from Elise's auto attacks, the Karma auto attack her has, and of course any mini Nagger that she may take.
A summoner has disconnected.
So we could take a look at the builds here while we go into this longer pause.
The Udyr, what I think was interesting there, the Udyr just went for a Duran shield and for his Spirit Stone, which is interesting. We see a lot of Udyrs starting either boots or starting machete. He did start with the machete, but I'm wondering what he's going to do. I'm wondering if the Duran's shield is built with the intent to gank these more auto attack heavy lanes, like the Jace. We'll see. Anyway, neither team on bot lane has backed off yet. This Sivir has gone for 2 Duran's Blades and for a Vamp Scepter. So she's going for that early sustain. She does already heal for an insane amount on those auto attacks, and of course, with the wave clear that's coming out from that, we are just going to turn on chat here and see what team is going to end up. What the decision is. It looks like one of the players is going to restart because he keeps disconnecting, which is unfortunate. We are actually going to go to camera in the meantime. So, it's on. Anyway, this is unfortunate that this ended up happening. Of course, we have one of the players restarting their computer, so we should hopefully be able to avoid all the disconnections that's happening. I don't know if we're going to end up restarting the game. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see what the decision is on either side.
Yep.
So yeah, what's been happening interestingly, at this point, Rift Battalion has a 600 gold lead.
Yep.
They have 2 kills already, so that is the entirety of their gold lead. Both teams are almost even in farming. That Tristana does have a little bit on the Jace, and of course, Sivir does have a little bit on that Orianna.
Yeah.
Other than that, both sides are really even.
Yep. You know, one would think that that blue team would be able to at least carry the momentum into this game and continue the wins. And red team might be maybe a little demoralized by the loss that they had, but they're doing a very good job of keeping the game even and keeping the game at least slightly in their favor.
Yeah, they've really adapted their playstyle since last game. They're definitely focusing on the more objectives focused. They're going for the heavy ganks, the same objectives that they were doing last time. They're really pushing in every lane, trying to keep up the global gold, which is what carried Troop de Solomare to victory last time.
Yeah, and another thing I've been noticed is that whenever blue team seems to push out the lane and really try to pressure those turrets, they're more of punishing the fact that they're constantly pushing lanes. You see Elise ganking top twice and getting 2 kills top lane because Karma just keeps pushing out the lanes.
Yeah, Karma did, I believe. Yeah, Karma does have a ward in her inventory. She has warded, but that Shyvana has reacted to that accordingly. She's purchased a pink ward. She does have it in the river. Both teams are trying to reconnect now, so we're going to end up getting into game very soon here now. At this point, hopefully we will not have any disconnection errors in the future, but we'll see. And like I said, anyway, we're going to have both teams give a heads up as soon as they're ready to unpause, and we'll be heading back into the game. Red team, let's all wait in blue fountain. Anyway. Some jokes coming out on both
If I was
sides.
on
as we finish up
blue
the
team,
wave.
I would totally agree to that. I'd say, okay, let's do it. Let me get a couple auto attacks on you first.
Yeah. Anyway, just everyone planning on what they're going to do. Hopefully, not taking advantage of anyone who's now been out of this game for 7 minutes or so. We had a rebooted computer, hopefully fixing the issue, and perhaps we will.
People are trolling in chat right now.
Yeah. I'm just sort of enjoying this. Anyway, we'll see what happens. That Elise did go for a different build than the Elise did go for a different build than Udyr. She is going for that early Ancient Golem. She picked up Boots, and with her 2 kills, she managed to pick up a Spirit Stone and a Health Crystal. So she is going to be much more mobile than that Udyr is already. Anyway, the Karma with the 3 Duran's rings, she is just going for an extremely strong early game build. There is that huge efficiency on the Duran's rings with the health, the AP, and the mana regen. The Shyvana, we already talked about dealing with that. Both sides.
I'm actually interested about the Orianna build because she's opting for what looks like a chalice, seeing that double fairy charm. It's the only thing that really builds out of a double fairy charm, and usually mid laners will pick either tier or chalice, seeing as they can go for a damage item right after getting a mana item.
Well, of course, the thing about Orianna is, since she benefits so much from both of them, every stat on Athene's is something that Orianna benefits from extremely well. She gets the mana regen, she gets the AP and the cooldown reduction, which lets her keep on balancing her orb back and forth, which is really crucial in order to placing her skills accurately. And she can charge the tier extremely fast with her command attack. So we are just laughing at the all chat dealing with the disconnected support's computer needing more coal.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She got a better potato.
We are so very close to finishing up this game. Or sorry, to getting back into this game.
He probably shouldn't run League of Legends on his TI-84. That's probably a mistake.
Both, actually, what I'm interested in is the wards on bottom side. Both teams are completely out of pink wards, they're completely out of green wards, but red team does have a pink ward in bottom river bush. Bottom lane bush. And Sona still has her pink ward in her inventory. So I'm not sure if she's going to try and counter the lane bush ward that she knows is there, if she wants to try and maybe get some dragon control or tri-bush control with that ward. Anyway. So
I still want to see Captain Boots come out on Udyr.
Yeah.
Even though Distortion or Home Guards are definitely better choices, the amount of speed boost that he can give his team along with all the other speed boosts is just going to be really, really hard, really funny to watch.
Yeah. Anyway.
Ran out of coal at the last second. Oh my god.
We're just waiting. It appears that
Summoner has reconnected.
we have reconnection. We have reconnection. We are almost ready to get back into the game. Hallelujah. We will, of course, switch the camera over as soon as the pause has... Actually, no. We'll look it over anyway right now, just so that you guys can get an idea of the builds that are happening. Anyway, so the exhaust is down for Lulu, as well as... Sona's is up, actually. So, on the off chance that Udyr, who is now in the bottom jungle, wants to go down and gank on that, we can probably see some things happening. Anyway, they don't have any wards in the river, and of course Sona's exhaust is up. So, maybe we're not going to see this immediately.
Yep.
I'm sort of regretting switching that over now at this point. This is really... Okay. No, someone in someone in red team's dorm burned popcorn, and they're hoping that they don't set off the fire alarm. This is a certainly unique occurrence.
Oh my god.
We may, if this lasts any longer, we may end up going to interview.
If they go to time, then they can do a 4v5 if they want.
No, everyone's reconnected, but we're making sure that the fire alarm doesn't go off at this point, I believe. So, we're just holding off. This has now been a 13-minute pause of stalling. Red team thinks they're good, so we're almost ready to unpause.
Oh, resuming the game in 2 seconds. We'll be going back to the screen,
okay,
and
play
here
resuming.
we are.
Shyvana going down on that. Karma just getting a couple hits off under the tower. Karma's going to repel that with her shield and back off.
Yep.
Sona and Jace advancing as Udyr wanders through his jungle. Does get picked up by that ward though, so do back off. Red team notices that Sona pink warded the river.
Have Elise waiting patiently and lands a very good stun onto Elise. The ultimate pop by Shyvana. They might be able to get the kill here. Ignite is ticking down, but only takes out her shield. Looks like she tries to turn around and heal herself. The heal comes out. She does have this tethers. Looks like she's going to make it have okay.
That was the third dive down on that Karma top lane, and it's the first one that she's managed to escape. So that is very good news for her. Let's see if she can keep that trend going. The Jace just jumping on top of that Tristana does not want anything to do with her being in lane still. Just managed to pick off that kill while Lulu is a bit too far back to help out. The top lane tower does look like it's going down in response though. Blue team backing down bot lane, wants to just get some items back now that they've picked up a kill. That Manamune on Jace as his first item, just so that they can keep on poking. 4 people top lane now, but it looks like Elise is going to back off because Udyr is definitely not going in on this. Orianna wandering back mid, just throwing out a couple auto attacks.
Super does have blue buff, so she will have a better time pushing the lane. She definitely has a lot more power now, especially with the with her new passive on her ultimate. She does get a good amount of attack speed when she pops her bouncing blade. So she will be able to push the lane a lot easier and deal a good amount of damage to Orianna.
She is past level 6, so she does have that unlocked. Anyway, the wave clear from both sides in bot lane is extremely strong. Tristana is known for her wave clear with her explosive shot, effect on death. A lot of burst damage coming down from that Sivir, but she does take a couple tower hits in return. Looks like
Elise is mid lane, so if Sivir doesn't get out fast enough, she might be able to get taken down here. No ward's still top lane.
Udyr waiting down bottom lane. Looks like they're going to be going for a dragon. Another early one. Red team, I believe, did get the first one last game. That was Troop to Solo Mare, and it looks like they're going to be getting the first one this game as well. 4 people here. No follow-up from Red team. Doesn't look like stopping that. The ultimate comes down from Shyvana. Looks like they are going to go down with no turret here to stop them. But Karma is going to shield and get away with that huge speed boost.
Yep. That speed boost is definitely the one thing that's keeping Shyvana from just destroying her. Shyvana is very good at diving squishy carries and just taking them out very easily. She doesn't have her Blade of the Ruined King yet, so she's losing a little bit of damage, but she still has a Hex Drinker, which means that she'll be able to resist some of the damage that Karma can do and still deal a lot in return.
Sivir does manage to get out of the shockwave in time, but the stun came down from Elise. Looks like Elise is going to be diving. She does have that additional tankiness from the Kindle Gem. And then just dodging that turret aggro with her repel. Udyr flashing over the wall, trying to pick up that Orianna, but Orianna flashes in return over Wraith Camp, and it looks like neither side's going to pick up a second kill after this.
And that's really bad for Sivir. Sivir used a lot to try to escape that. She used her ultimate, she used flash, she used barrier, but it still wasn't enough. It looks like Red Team might camp Sivir's lane now that she has none of her summoners up and she doesn't have her ultimate.
Absolutely. Anyway, Blue team just pushing really hard on this bottom lane turret. They didn't go for a 2v1 this game either, so I'm interested in seeing whether or not they're going to be able to get another early objective. Red team, of course, did get top lane first turret.
Blue team
An
is
engage threatened by blue team on bottom lane, but red team did manage to retreat into their turret just fast enough that blue team didn't want to follow up.
Elise waiting behind in that tri-bush there. She's going to have a meeting with Udyr. He's going to deal a good amount of damage, but he's by himself in a 3v1, very close to that turret. Jace is going to try to come around from the side, but it looks like he might get there too late as Tristana ult him back into their team. Sona comes down with a very good ultimate, only stunning one, but they're able to still collapse on top of this team. Orianna comes in from the side, shielding Lulu. They're able to re-engage this. A good Elise stun comes in, gets down Sona, and the repel comes down on Jace. Jace is able to disengage and ignite. He might be able to get the kill here on Elise.
The ignite does pick up the kill on Elise, and now it looks like Orianna and Tristana are going to pick up this Jace kill.
Yep.
That is now a 3 for nothing. Or sorry, a 3 for 1. The Elise did get taken out. That was an extremely strong trade bot lane for
Looks like Sever's going to try to take this turret here as she moves closer and closer towards...
She does not have the AD yet to be able to take out that turret before Tristana and Orianna can burst her down.
Yep.
The turret is left with just a couple hundred health left.
Yep.
But the wave clear from Tristana is going to keep it safe in the meantime. Karma looks like she might be switching back mid lane. Udyr just going to clear his jungle. His red buff is up, as well as red team's blue buff. Anyway.
So interesting enough, this game is fairly even. We saw a lot of good farming by red team early game, but now we see blue team catching up. Udyr is out farming Elise. He's definitely staying his jungle a little longer than her. And we have Jace out farming.
The smite steal on Udyr for the blue buff. He just has the same level as Elise. Elise's smite's still up, meaning he just managed to click that just a little bit faster. Unfortunately for Elise. What's interesting is, like he said before, the kill advantage is significantly to red side. They have 5 kills on Rift Battalion more than Rift Solomare has. Shyvana ulting down onto this Sivir, who did pick up her blue buff. Karma is here to fight back, and it looks like they are going to snare Sivir and be able to take her out before she picks up a kill. No, she is actually going to burn out and manage to escape in time.
Flash from Karma trying to at least get a kill here. Looks like they're just going to back up.
Didn't do quite enough damage. Neither team's going to get a kill. Sivir is going to escape with her blue buff. The kill advantage is significantly towards Rift Battalion side, but the gold is actually in Troop de Solomare's side. They have 1.5 more gold, roughly, than the other team.
It's still not an advantage to really say anything. It's still a small amount of gold lead. It's fairly even, to say the least, even though the kills are definitely in the favor of red team right now.
A Skittering Frenzy down on that Karma. The Orianna ultimate is dodged. Sivir is now putting a lot of damage down on Orianna. The repel comes down from Elise, and it looks like Orianna is maybe... Orianna gets taken out by Elise. Sivir getting bursted down by... Or sorry, Sivir bursting down along with Karma, that Elise.
Yep. Udyr comes in to the side for the assist.
A lot of pressure coming down bot lane on this red team inner turret.
Yep.
But once again, the wave clear is just too strong, and the polymorph keeps them from putting down enough damage to do anything.
I mean, Jace does do a good job of taking out turrets. I believe it's his W that gives him three free auto attacks. Yep.
Hypercharge is just an extremely strong tower pushing tool.
Yep. And along with Sona's power cord on her Q, they're going to be dealing a lot of damage to turrets.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to pick it up here with a little bit of help from Udyr.
Absolutely.
Just mouse over Udyr and see what abilities he's taken. Because I think I might have seen a Tiger Stance.
No.
Yeah, he
Udyr,
does have one rank in Tiger Stance.
I guess he is just going for that and the ability to duel. There are 2 people taking Dragon on blue side, but the Elise does come in with the Skittering Frenzy. She is engaging on Jace, the Sona ultimate going down on the Tristana, flash over the wall, and the dunk, but it doesn't look like Jace may be trying to escape here. He does get stunned by Elise and taken out by Elise and Tristana.
The team is trying to make this as close to a 1-for-1 as possible, but it looks like Sona's very out of position.
That Udyr is going down on that Elise. He does manage to stun her, but she stuns him as well with that Cocoon. Looks like neither team will manage to pick up the kill there. The Orianna ultimate coming down, catching out the Sona, trying to catch the Udyr now. He does manage to stun Elise, but if she can land a stun, she landed the stun, and the damage from Orianna is just really grinding him down as he manages to Phoenix stance.
This is really bad for blue team. Yes.
Troop to solo mare.
Yes. They had a slight advantage before, but now they're losing a turret. They lost 3 people in that fight.
And yet, they are still up in gold somehow. They just have so much farm on the other team at this point.
Yeah.
They do manage to take out mid tower. Shyvana escaping with her Hex Drinker and her ultimate, but she does get taken out by the Karma.
Yep. Sivir trying to push that top lane. Tristana trying to keep the pressure off the turret by dealing a good amount of damage to Sivir. Sivir's able to engage her outside the turret range. Tristana goes in and baits the spell shield from Sivir.
Yep. Sivir does get knocked under tower, but she didn't take a hit. She managed to kill that Tristana in time. Looks like Troop of Solo Mare is going to try for their second Baron this game. Wow,
second dragon.
Sorry, second dragon. Not the second Baron. It is much too early for that.
That would be the most impressive feat in all of League of Legends if they were going.
Especially because Baron doesn't even respawn that fast. Anyway, they're going for this dragon. They did manage to take out that top turret in red team. And they are now pushing this gold advantage. You now have a 3k gold advantage despite being down 5 kills, which is really impressive. That is not something you see every day. That Elise does manage to land a combo on Karma. With Orianna for backup now, they do take out that Karma. Elise is going to escape with a bit of health left. Udyr does not have the speed to reposition and get in behind them.
Especially with 3 people now trying to collapse down on top of him. They do back off. They don't think they can get the kill. He is pretty far away.
He is a slippery target to pick up.
Yep.
Unfortunately, though, that bear stance movement speed boost was just not enough to get him in time and fast enough to save Karma.
Looks like he is going to opt for the boots 3 as opposed to the mobility boots or ninja tabi. So this team is definitely looking for a lot of movement.
Yeah.
That Philosopher's Stone might be turned into a Shirelia's Reverie.
Both Jace and Sivir building extremely strong AD items. That Manamune and now going into a Bloodthirster for Jace and the Bloodthirster and looking for a Phantom Dancer perhaps, or
probably a Trinity Force.
I don't know. It's just the Zeal. We can't really tell so far. It could be either a Phantom Dancer, a Trinity Force, or that Static Shiv, all of which are very effective on Sivir.
Yeah. Personally, I like the Trinity Force, the Phage passive, and especially with her W for the Sheen proc. She does use a lot of her abilities in late game. It's a very good item for her.
Well, it could be either one in all honesty, because the Static Shiv especially will give her a lot of wave clear.
Speaking of Sivir, we do have a dual top lane with her and Shyvana. Shyvana's getting very close, but Sivir is able to kite her backwards using her ultimate and her passive.
That damage from Sivir is extremely strong right now. She does have 2 kills, she flashes, and she manages to pick up the kill.
Yes. The movement speed from her passive was definitely effective there. With the movement speed from her ultimate, in combination with the ability to, whenever she auto-attacks a champion, she gets additional movement speed. Yes. She's able to kite backwards that Shyvana, who's only really able to maybe get 1, maybe 2 auto-attacks off, and possibly a few flame breaths.
She did do a decent amount of damage there, and she almost got that, she got that Sivir pretty low, but the lifesteal from the Bloodthirster, as well as, just her ridiculous burst damage at this point was really just able to keep her back. The Jace Q's coming in from the side, chunking down that Tristana and the Lulu. Orianna did manage to avoid it. Looks like blue team is going to perhaps be able to pick up the second turret. Elise not even getting close enough. She does not want to be part of that.
Yep. Blue team, once again, doing a very good job of pressuring turrets. They pick comps that either can do a lot of poke damage to force people away from turrets, and then deal a lot of damage to turrets themselves. We saw Lucian being picked up because of his passive dealing 2 auto attacks to a turret, and now Jace being picked up because of his hypercharge dealing 3 auto attacks to a turret.
Yeah. There's just so much damage, especially on turrets. They have the power chords, they have the Udyr Tiger stance damage on the turrets with the attack speed, they have the hypercharge on Jace, and of course, Sivir, if she activates her Ricochet and she gets the 40% additional attack speed while that's active, they just have so much damage done. Karma getting caught out by Shyvana, but Karma does manage to land the snare on Shyvana and retreat before anything dangerous happens to her.
Once again, we see the strength of the disengage from blue team right here. But it looks like they don't really want a team fight. I feel like a team fight for blue team would be very bad. It seems like they all just want to skirmish and just push the turrets and force them away from their own turrets by putting a lot of pressure on red team's turrets.
That was amazing. The exhausted Sivir still did so much damage and had enough attack speed to manage to take out the ultimate of Lulu in the middle of the turret.
Red team was able to dodge that Sona ultimate.
Back and forth. The flash Udyr stun does manage to catch out that Elise. Udyr is now 2-2. Karma flashing over the wall, picking up the snare on Orianna. The stun from Udyr is going to hit it in time. They are managing to catch that Orianna out in time. That was a 4 for 1.
Meanwhile, bot lane, Sivir just grabs a turret and is taking some turret shots. Mostly because she can.
Yeah.
There's no one really there to stop her, as we say that as Lulu starts to move towards the minion wave.
Looks like Udyr and Sivir now want to pressure this tower. But Tristana does get in time, scare him off a bit.
Yep.
It looks like blue team is just going to back off and try to spend some of the gold they just picked up. They just did take this from 6 and 11 down to 11 and 13. They boosted that like 3k gold lead up to a 7k gold lead.
So
that is
Tristana's explosive shot had just stopped Udyr from backing.
They also took that 0-3 turrets to 6 and 3.
Yep.
Which is really impressive. They managed to just take out every outer turret and every inner turret.
Like Elise might be getting caught out here. Shyvana coming in with her ultimate, being able to CC down them for a little bit. Sivir's spell shield is popped, and now the rest of red team is showing up, and they are dealing a considerable amount of damage. But the speed gate from Jace is able to allow her to disengage. She's going to back here and go back.
Sivir is down her barrier now, so she is susceptible to a lot of burst.
Yep.
Udyr running in on the side, trying to catch anyone out, but he's faster than most of his team, so if he manages to get the stun, there's no telling whether or not his team will be able to follow up. The stun going down on Tristana as soon as her rocket jump ends, but the disengage from purple team holds him off.
Yep. We still don't see the captain boots on Udyr. I really want to see him.
I don't think we're going to see that in all honesty. The Frozen Heart did come out on Udyr to shut down that Elise's huge attack speed from Skittering Frenzy in Spider form. The Shyvana attack speed doing so much damage with all of her AD in Dragon form. Tristana's attack speed, and of course Orianna with her very auto attack dependent passive.
Looks like we have blue team baiting out a Baron fight here.
The Karma speed boost threatening an engage, but ending up just pushing down mid lane.
Yep. So we got a Kindle Gem being built for Sona. Looks like she is going to turn that Philosopher's Stone into a Shirelia's Reverie, which means this team is going to be very, very fast.
Absolutely. Just wave clear coming out on both sides. Udyr picking up the enemy blue buff in red team's jungle.
Yep.
Maybe moving over to Dragon, seeing if he can grab that objective too. Nope, he's going to be skipping over that and heading down mid lane, as it does look like red team is regrouping.
Karma being able to deal a little bit of poke damage on top of Elise. Elise does have that Aegis of the Legion, so there will definitely be a considerable less amount of damage come out from Karma and Sona, and a little bit from Udyr.
Engage going down, catching out the Karma with the stun. Their shield does manage to reduce that damage a lot, and now it looks like red team does not want to fight this under tower.
They're going to wait for the mini wave and perhaps try to take this tower here.
That
top lane is pushing it well,
shift
so if they don't get the turret here, they can easily just rotate top. As Elise goes in on Jace and just the disengage from blue team just allows him to walk backwards and back into base.
Minions from red team pushing on that top tower. Does look like Karma and Sona are going to go take that out, while red team backs off. The team just wants to spend some of that gold they just got from pushing minions. This is now a almost 8k gold lead for blue team. That is huge, especially considering that they're still down 2 kills.
Yep. I mean, one thing that's apparent is that red team isn't acting like a team that's down in gold. They're definitely returning the pressure that blue team has been putting out, and been doing a very good job of staying in the game. They are farming fairly well, and are upping kills and taking turrets whenever they can.
They know they have a kill advantage, and they know that if they manage to catch anyone on blue team out, they can burst them down without any fuss. Yep. Orianna does have an incredible amount of damage with her Zanya's Hourglass and her Athenes and her Sorcerer's Shoes, so it's really just a matter of whether or not blue team wants to team fight as a group with the Sivir AoE damage and the Jace
Oh
AoE
my
damage.
god!
The train running down mid lane does manage to catch Shyvana, but she's ultimating away. Sona ult's catching out 3 people. Elise looks like she's going to get taken out here. Udyr in the back lines, getting exhausted down before he can kill that Tristana. The exhaust going down on Shyvana does manage to pick her out. Orianna and Sivir picking each other off. Sorry, Sivir just taking out Orianna. The kill does look like it's going to go down on Lulu to Sivir. Underneath the 2 Nexus towers, getting very greedy here. May get taken out by the turrets. Nope, she is going to barrier off.
Tristana is going to rocket jump in. Maybe she can get the kill here.
Sivir healing so much back from that lifesteal, but does get taken out by Tristana.
Yep.
Looks like blue team with that ace. The Elise just respawned. Maybe she'll be able to stop them here.
Elise
Does
can
look
probably
like she's going to
execute
go
Karma.
down on that Karma.
Ooh.
But she does get stunned back by the Udyr.
As they go in and re-engage.
She's going to get killed by that Karma damage over time. Shyvana now sprinting down towards the 3 low health champions.
If one thing's for certain, we can see a lot of confidence from the blue team right here. They are really low, and even when someone with full health comes in on them, they go directly in.
Absolutely. Shyvana just chasing down. She is now caught in the middle of 3 people, has to use her Randuins in order to get away. Does manage to escape the leash from Karma.
Oh my lord.
The speed boosts from Karma and Jace and Sona are absolutely incredible in this match.
Yeah.
And
Shirelia's Reverie is on cooldown, so they will get a little bit less.
yeah. Troop de Solomare is now up in kills from 11-13 to 17 and 15. They did pick up another turret and an inhibitor there, and they are now up 11k gold.
Yep. That charge down mid lane is exactly what they wanted, and they are getting a lot in return for it. They are now ahead in kills, and they're completely dominating the map once again.
Yeah.
Their early game was a little shaky, as we saw, but now that their champions have scaled into the mid game, they're definitely doing a very good job.
Absolutely. Anyway. Red team just trying to push out these super minions in mid lane, while Sivir pushes down on that bot lane. Looks like there may be an attempt to go stop her, just from Tristana to clear the lane. Ward clearing coming out around Baron, so we may be seeing that as an objective coming soon.
Yep.
Elise does not want to head over there. We know there's 3 people around there because they saw them in that pink ward over the bush. Sivir's going to be doing a decent amount of damage to that turret, but Tristana's wave clear is not going to let her stay for too long.
Yep.
The speed boost from Lulu.
Shyvana looking like she was trying to catch out.
An engage coming down from Sona and Carmen, Udyr, and Jace in the meantime, just picking up that blue buff. They do manage to get a kill on Elise, and it looks like they're going to turn their attention over to Shyvana now coming into this team fight. She is going to get picked off by that Sivir.
Yeah.
The stun coming down on Orianna under the tower, the leash from Arma, and they do pick up the kill under the tower. Pick up another tower, and it looks like they're focused. Oh! The Tristana ulted back through here, but it was not enough.
The movement speed is just so strong on blue team that it's really hard for red team to just disengage from this. They do have really strong disengage on the red team, but blue team is just so fast.
Absolutely. And that is going to be game here.
Yep.
Game 2 is going to go to Troupe de Solomare.
Yep.
So we will, in just a moment, be heading over to Game 3 to determine if Troupe de Solomare is going to take this home, or if your battalion's going to give them a run for their money.
Yep.
For this
best of
the
5.
best of 5. We are going to head to intermission again, and as soon as the game is set up, we will be heading back in.
We used to say we won't get older. It'll be alright. We wait to change and then it's over. But it'll be alright. All those years we used to know. All those dreams won't go. I won't let it go. I'm taking control. I want you to know. You're already
Oh, well, no.
all those dreams won't go. It'll be alright. We've gotten strange, we've gotten older. It'll be alright. I miss the days when we were sober, but it'll be alright. All those years we used to know. All those dreams won't go. I won't let it go. I'm taking control.
Okay, we are back once again for Game 3 of Troupe de Solomare versus Rift Battalion. Anyway.
Yep.
So, this is the game that will determine whether or not Troupe de Solomare takes it home, or whether or not Rift Battalion's going to give them a fourth game, or maybe even a fifth game. We'll see. This is, of course, the best of 5. We are going to get ready to start in just a moment. So, we'll be shifting over to Champion Select as soon as we're ready for that. Anyway, we will see. Last game, they did run a really interesting comp. Both teams, actually.
Yep.
The Karma pick, along with the Udyr and the Jace Shock Blast, was really an impressive team comp for just being able to run down the center lane, absolutely smashing into the enemy team like a truck.
Yeah.
With that Udyr stun and the Jace Shock Blasts and the Acceleration Gate.
Yep.
We'll see if they're able to do anything similar this time. Anyway, we are starting to get at the champ select, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
I'm
So we might see a Shyvana ban from purple team, maybe an Elise.
we are
But
seeing
blue team is going to go out and ban Kassadin right off the bat.
again, yeah, Rift Battalion, especially after that first game, they do not want to deal with casting. We haven't really seen much of anything that Troupe de Solomare has had significant issues with. So I'm interested in seeing whether they're going to target ban anything specifically. I'm guessing they will target ban that Shyvana, because that was a really strong force early game. Orianna absolutely was just chunking people down before. So that is definitely something that they don't want to deal with again. That Olaf that won the first game that won a game last night, along with the Nasus, that has been banned every game so far. Lucian, again, just a respect ban over to Plumber. And the final ban, is going to be a target ban on that Shyvana. So Orianna and Shyvana were the two really unstoppable forces on the blue team that had to be focused down by the mid lane train.
Yeah.
Wondering what they're going to first pick. Sejuani, a really interesting pick. They do have a lot. Sejuani really brings a whole team's worth of AoE lockdown.
Yep.
As, of course, her knockup. And, of course, in response to that, an Amumu and Misfortune. That combination is an incredibly powerful force, especially if Amumu can manage to catch everyone within the Cone of Misfortune's ultimate. So that's interesting. Both of those, two extremely high AoE CC junglers, of course, with Amumu's Curse of the Sad Mummy, and Sejuani's ultimate, and her Permafrost, and her charge. Piggy charge.
Yep.
Which I don't know the actual name of. Anyway.
All we know is that she charges with her pig around walls.
Yep. Okay, Piggy charge. Anyway,
Piggy charge.
we're looking for some responses on blue side. Maybe a Varus pick, actually. Interesting, against that Misfortune. Varus does have the range advantage. He has that huge poke from Piercing Arrow. And both AD carries in that scenario would be able to apply a healing debuff, the Grievous Wounds, which is going to be pretty significant cut to lifesteal. And a Leona on that. Guess because Misfortune really has no escapes, so she is really dependent on being able to sit far back, and if Leona can hard engage on that, that is really powerful.
We are seeing
Galio
an
pick.
AoE
This is
team.
They are going for an AoE wombo combo team here with a Galio ultimate, an Amumu ultimate, a Misfortune ultimate, and a Fiddlesticks ultimate. I'm really excited for this match.
Yep.
I'm really excited for this match. An Elise pick coming out again on Rift Battalion's side. See if they can shut down this Troupe de Solomare before they can get anything rolling.
What would make this even more perfect is that if they had a Gangplank as their last pick. Gangplank would be able to add to that AoE from very far away. Morgana looking to kind of counter this AoE. She can definitely abuse the fact that she can just walk in with her spell shield and use her ultimate to kind of stop a lot of the AoE that's happening, and Kennen being on a lock.
Being locked as probably the top laner for this. I am absolutely fascinated with this team comp. They're going for So much AoE lockdown on this. This is hysterical to me. I'm interested on what they're planning on doing with that Morgana Sejuani Leona combo, because that also is a lot of AoE lockdown, and with the Varus ultimate, maybe they're hoping to catch people out, and then when people go to assist whoever got caught out, maybe Sejuani ultimate and Morgana ultimate into that, along with the Leona, of course.
And one thing to be noted is that Morgana can resist a lot of this. They see, look, they're going to be doing a lot of AoE CC, so the one thing Sejuani needs to be doing, or Elise or Leona need to be doing, is that they can throw the spell shield down on whoever's going in, and then they can resist the Galio taunt. They can resist the Curse of the Sad Mummy. They can resist a lot of things as long as the shield is up.
Yeah. So that's likely going to go down on priority target. Whoever's most fed on that team, whether it be the Morgana or the Varus, or maybe just whoever they want to engage. I guess if they want to engage with that Sejuani Piggy charge into Permafrost, they can put the Morgana shield down on her too. It's really going to be... And I know we've said that for pretty much every game so far, but I'm going to say it again because it's proven true every time. It's going to be a matter of who can act first.
Yep.
Whoever gets the hard engage on this is going to likely win, because if Purple team can catch everyone grouped up, they will absolutely win a team fight. If they manage to catch all 5 people in the Galioton, it's over. That is an ace for them right there. But, on the other hand, if Blue team can pick people off, they may not have all of the AoE CC that they need. Everyone there has an AoE skill, but it's a matter of whether or not they'll be able to chain together what they need to pick off the entire team.
Another thing to be noted is that if an Abyssal Scepter is built by the Purple team, there's going to be a lot of issues for the Blue team, especially if Fiddlesticks builds it. Yeah. Fiddlesticks' passive by himself reduces magic resist, and a lot of the AoE damage being put out by Purple team is magic damage.
Almost the entirety of it, actually.
Yeah.
Misfortune is going to be the only one doing AoE physical damage to that team. Kennen, Fiddlesticks, Galio, and Amumu are all going to be doing AoE magic damage.
Yep.
Especially that damage from Amumu's his Tantrum and his Tears.
Yep.
Of course. And Amumu's passive as well. They have the Fiddlesticks passive reducing magic resistance in a way, AoE, and of course Amumu reduces magic resistance on his auto attacks. Mm-hmm. So really it's just going to be shredding resistances, catching everyone in a hole, and just turning everyone there into a puddle.
Yep.
With all of those AoE skills.
I mean, another thing to be noted is that Blue team has a fairly good team comp as well. We shouldn't keep, pushing towards Purple team and say, yeah, Purple team's doing really well with their AoE, but Blue team is doing a very good job of saying, look, they're going to try to lock us down, so if we can at least keep them at a distance.
Yeah, there is a lot of zoning potential on Blue team, especially with the Varus piercing arrows. Purple team has to be very wary of grouping up, especially with that Sejuani ultimate. Mm-hmm. If they catch anyone with the Sejuani ultimate, they can catch them with the Morgana ultimate and with the Varus ultimate and with the Elise stun and with the Leona ultimate. There's a lot of... Both teams have the potential to combo all of their CCs together in a very powerful way this match.
Yeah. So it's really, like you said before, it's really going to see who gets their combo down first. Mm-hmm. If Blue team can get their combo down first, they can easily just have their entire team just engage. Because there's not a lot that keeps Purple team from... There's not a lot of disengage from the Purple team, as we've seen in a lot of their team comps before. Mm-hmm. But it looks like, once again, whoever just gets their combo down first is going to probably win.
Yeah. If either team can catch anyone out, I think the difference is Purple team likely doesn't want to use their ultimates if they catch anyone out, but on the other hand, Blue team, I guess, looks like the team comp that probably will want to use one of their ultimates to catch someone out. Because Purple team sort of needs everything that they have in order to chain together the type of combos that they're going to be looking for. But on the other side, Blue team really can deal with any one of their things and just lock on one person at once, catch people out, and turn the fights in their favor that way.
Yep.
It's interesting. Of course, I'm interested. The Leona taking barrier. That is not something that we've seen before. But I guess they're going to go for some maybe early tower dives along with that Sejuani jungle. She's probably going to rush an Ancient Golem into that.
Yep.
And just have a lot of health to be able to.
We are in
tower.
Summoner's Rift.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna do a quick move around of the Summoner portraits, or the Champion portraits rather.
Mm-hmm. And anyway, looks like pretty standard starts on both sides. Kennen's, of course, picking up that Duran's Blade, which is a really common start for Kennen, so he can abuse his 600 attack range and get some healing off in the meantime.
Yep. Doran's Ring isn't as gold efficient item on him as it is on other champions because he does use energy. And trying to get mana back when you don't have it is kind of an issue.
Yeah. Amumu starting for that machete, wanting to clear to 6. Same thing with Sejuani, so we're not seeing any boot starts on either side. Not really starting any unconventional starts. Elise does manage to get off a Q on Misfortune, but it doesn't look like anything's going to really be made of it. Sejuani in an unfortunate position here, taking quite a few hits, getting grappled onto by Amumu. The fear from Fiddlesticks going down,
forces
and he is going to be taken down for first blood.
First blood goes to Fiddlesticks in this very scary level 1 for blue team.
The snare does go down onto Galio, but the flash over the wall is going to let Varus escape here. That
a lot of damage from the red team.
The flash over the wall from Misfortune onto Varus. She does manage to get the auto attack reset, and the second kill goes down to Galio.
Minions have spawned.
They are now up 1k gold, and this is definitely going to help red team snowball.
Absolutely.
This is exactly what red team has wanted from their start, and they definitely have a very powerful level 1.
I'm interested. Amumu and Fiddlesticks are staying over by the red buff. It doesn't look like they're going to go for a fear or for a bandage toss on this. They could have probably caught her out, but it looks like they're just going for the
yeah, as blue team responds, they're surrounded by a Morgana, a Leona, and a Varus. It's not someplace you want to be. Your level 1 might be good, but if you're outnumbered by double the amount of people, you're going to have a problem.
Amumu does have a very difficult start here. He did start bandage toss for the invade, so he doesn't have tears or tantrum here, which is going to make it very difficult for him to grab that blitz. On the other hand, despite that pink ward there catching both Leona and Sejuani, they are going to pick up their red buff. Some trades going down top lane and bottom lane, while their supports make their way over. The Morgana putting down a bit of harassment down on that Galio, does manage to blow a shield.
Galio does have a double Doran's Ring, so this will definitely put him a lot higher damage, more harass, and he'll be able to stay in lane a little longer, because Galio is very good at farming minions. His Q does a lot of damage to minions, and he'll be able to regen a lot of that mana off from killing those killing those creeps.
He does have he does have very high mana cost though, which is why I suspect that he went for a second Doran's instead of something like an amplifying cone. A gang coming down from Sejuani, they do manage to bring Kennen to very low health immediately. The ignite comes down and they do manage to catch Kennen out.
Yep.
So that is 1 kill now for blue team compared to the 2 kills on red team. Blue team hugging their turret bot lane. They are down significantly in levels, so they really don't want to engage here. A silence coming down from Fiddlesticks, and at this point, Varus is at half health. He really doesn't want to get too close to take harass. A lot of very scary harass. A Leona's combo coming down onto that Misfortune. She does manage to deal a significant amount of damage to both Leona and Varus here, even though she got cut out. There's some pressure coming down on this bottom lane turret. Amumu did come down to mid lane, but it doesn't look like he made anything off of that. In the meantime, it looks like he sees Sejuani taking her rates and is now trying to escape over in the jungle. Both sides with double buffs. Amumu waiting in the bush. But of course the silence from Fiddlesticks does manage to catch out Sejuani. They are going for the exhaust, and let's see if they do manage to catch him.
Varus is throwing a lot of stuff over the wall, so let's try to see if they can peel off the enemy team from Sejuani, but the bandage toss is good. Will it be enough?
They do catch out Sejuani, and of course the red buff auto attacks, and the tears do manage to pick her off under the tower. Misfortune does get caught by a Leona combo under this tower in that bush, of course. She does manage to get a double kill with some assistance from Fiddlesticks, despite being caught by 2 people and a Leona combo. Minions do not want them to back in that bush.
Yeah.
This wave top lane has been trading back and forth from pushing towards blue and pushing towards red. Both teams just wave clearing it all out. A lot of damage coming down from that Elise combo. But just trading it off, going back to farming their minions, popping a couple potions. This is really just a fair trade on both sides.
Yep.
Anyway, mid lane just farming out, bot lane farming out, while red team just gets everyone back from the base after spending all that gold that they just got. This is now 5-1 for red team with a 2k gold lead, 2.5 or so.
Yep. It looks like Fiddlesticks is rushing that Zanya's Hourglass, grabbing that Seeker's Arm Guard. He's going to miss out on a Sightstone, but I feel like that's an even trade considering that Zanya's Hourglass
does dodge the stun. He ignites down Elise. It looks like he will be picking... Oh! The dodge from Elise. She will be escaping. Directed camera takes us over to mid lane for some reason. Faster than I could react. But Elise will be escaping there with just a sliver of health after Ignite ran out.
Yep.
Bottom lane, it does look like Varus did manage to catch up in levels, but no. Sejuani is waiting in the wings. Amumu sitting on that vision ward. Looks like he's going to be going in bottom lane despite being seen. Looks like neither team wants to dive them. Both teams just want to sit out and defend this one. They know there is a lot of CC potential on both sides. Amumu does not yet have his ultimate, but of course Sejuani doesn't need Permafrost, which is incredibly strong still. An auto attack reset and a lot of damage coming down on that Varus. That Misfortune is just being incredibly gutsy. Just like, she is going to get stunned by Leona. Varus is going to escape under tower, but will Leona get killed under tower now? Nope, it looks like she's going to back off. The Morgana ultimate getting cancelled. Everyone managed to get out of range before anything happened there. The flash from Fiddlesticks under tower, fearing onto the Varus, but it does look like Morgana is going to flash away and get caught out by that Misfortune.
Now it looks like Sejuani's coming down. Might be able to pick off Fiddlesticks here. He is taken very low. But Amumu is waiting in those wings right there. They might have seen each other, and both junglers are backing off. But Varus is very low. Fiddlesticks could easily go in and take the turret and make it a 1-for-1 trade and still have it be in the favor of Misfortune right now.
Of course, he did use his flash before, so he doesn't have a way to reset tower aggro, and he also doesn't have a way to get out, so that would be sacrificing enough life. I don't think he's looking to do that, because I really don't think they want to give Varus any opportunity to come back. The ultimate coming down, destroys the minion wave, pushes Varus back even farther.
Leona's coming back to lane now, so whatever chance they had of turret diving might be an even worse decision now. Leona does have 3 stuns. She doesn't have them yet, but...
Leona threatening back Fiddlesticks. A lot of damage coming from Elise on that cannon. It appears that top lane is just a battle of whoever has Ignite up at any given time. That cannon ultimate does discourage Elise from sticking around. Both sides. This Galio and Morgana are both incredibly sustained, of course. Galio with his shield. And, the Ignite does come down on Kennen under the tower, but he is going to survive. Back and forth top lane is really interesting, because it's neither team has a kill on the other laner. It's just both teams trying to take out the other one, but not being successful in doing so. Anyway, the snare comes down, does miss Galio. He does manage to dodge that. Does a blue buff, and it looks like he's just going to try and heal off as much as he can. Elise does manage to dodge the Q from Kennen, but does get caught out by the bandage toss, sending a Skittering Frenzy Spiderling over into that lane. just heading down. Sejuani now just wave clearing with Galio nearby.
All members of Red Team are now level 6, or past level 6, and they all have their ultimates, so this might begin to be a scary game for Blue Team if they're able to get their combos off. Spell Shield comes on to Morgana, so there's...
This is now a 3v2 in the middle lane. Looks like Morgana will catch out Amumu with that stun. Sejuani with the stun. They are going to perhaps pick off Amumu. The Galio flash and taunt into the Fiddlesticks ultimate. The Misfortune ultimate manages to pick off Sejuani, and they do also get Amumu. Or not Amumu.
And this is the
Leona.
wombo combos we've been talking about.
Yeah.
There's two AoE ultimates on top of each other. We're able to take the enemy team very low, and Red Team was able to capitalize on top of that. And they might be able to get mid turret off of this.
Anyway, it looks like they are in fact going to be able to push. I don't know that they have the minions left actually. So it looks like they're going to back off after this. Galio does not want to tank that turret with only 400 health left. Elise also at low health top against this Kennen.
And might be able to dive this. He is
Looks
coming
like
in
Kennen's
with
going to
his...
lightning rush in. He does
Elise
not get the
repels
stun.
as Sejuani is coming in from the sides. He doesn't have his dash up anymore, so he might be able to get... He might not be able to get away from this. Sejuani charges
He does
in,
manage
but
to lightning rush just in time to get away from the Sejuani dash.
Yep.
The Morgana Q does catch out Galio. Leona does look like she's going to get caught out by Amumu and Misfortune here. This Misfortune is now 5-0.
Yep.
She is now over half of her team's kills. Looks like the red team is going to pick up a dragon in the meantime. Kennen and Sejuani now fighting in the top lane. Kennen's damage output is just too much for the Sejuani to handle. And he does manage to pick up a kill, putting him ahead of Elise.
This seems very bleak for Blue Team right now. Red Team is snowballing out of control, and it's very little they can do about it. Especially if they try to team fight, a lot of them have their ultimates up. Misfortune's ultimate is up, Fiddlestick's ultimate is up in a little bit, Galio's ultimate is up. And if they try to team fight and at least get a couple kills so they can push towers, they're in for a big surprise because there's just going to be wombo combo after wombo combo.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see Morgana and Galio both at very low health, both landing a skill on each other, but neither one picking up a kill there. Kennen now has almost double the farm of this Elise at this point, and he does have a kill, so he does have a significant gold advantage, 1.2k in top lane. Sejuani does have 3 more deaths than Amumu, unfortunately for her, and Amumu is just racking up assist after assist with his AoE skills at this point. And that Misfortune is snowballing out of control with almost twice as much gold as Varus. This is going to be a very difficult fight. The first heart did go down for Red Team. There's a 7k gold lead, almost. It looks like both teams are just sort of stalling at this point.
We do have an interesting build coming out from Misfortune. She did build Ionian Boots of Lucidity. So she will have 15% cooldown reduction, which means her ultimate is going to be up a lot more. So this team is really looking for that wombo combo. Hopefully they'll be able to get it.
Absolutely, they're definitely just looking out for the combos to be up as often as possible. Cooldown reduction coming out for every character. Actually, no, not for Amumu. Amumu is going... It almost looks like he's going for a Spectral Wraith here. He may be doing that. And no cooldown reduction on Kennen. Elise going in on this Kennen, but he is going to Lightning Rush away while she repels. So it doesn't look like a kill's going to go to either side here once again. The Morgana Dark Binding does catch out Misfortune, but there's no follow-up, so they aren't able to do anything. They really just want to pressure this mid tower. The Amumu flash in an ultimate into the Morgana or the Misfortune ultimate. Fiddlesticks ultimating in from the side, and the Galio taunt is engaged for a 4v0. They do manage to take out the turret. The snare from Varus goes down on Amumu, but it's not enough to catch anyone out. Elise in top lane fighting with Kennen. Not sure that they can make this an ace on either side. Or on
But it looks like red team is coming up and might turret dive Elise here. This might be a little scary, but they don't have their ultimates up. Kennen is the only one with an ultimate, but it might be enough.
They just have too much damage for Elise to deal with under that tower.
Yep.
There's not even anyone significantly tanky. All they needed to do is take out 2 shots, and everyone else just filled in the gaps.
Yep.
They are going to make this into 2 towers now. Galio is pushing down on this bottom lane. He does want to clear the minions that are doing a significant amount of pressure on that bottom turret. They don't want to make... They want to make sure that they don't lose any turrets for this. Flash over the wall for Misfortune, along with the Sejuani dash and permafrost. Leona is going to get caught out.
And Kennen Dash getting a little bit too greedy as Misfortune and Kennen try to push down this lane here. Morgana's coming in from the side. She might be able to dark bind it, but she missed.
Nope.
She has the spell shield trying to do something, but she is in the middle of Misfortune auto attacks.
The flash to escape.
Flashes away.
Sejuani
Misfortune tries to go in, but Elise is now collapsing down on top of Misfortune. A very good stun. She throws down her Q and her spider and is able to get a lot of damage. Can she get the kill?
Yep.
The kill goes to
Sejuani
Sejuani.
Does pick up the kill on Misfortune. Kennen is going to escape with only 200 health left. Looks like Fiddlesticks just coming in for the presence, going to see if they can catch out this Elise again. They do get the silence. They are not quite in range to fear.
There's the stun.
The exhaust goes down, and the
there's
fear,
the
but the dark
passage.
binding from Morgana. It looks like Elise is going to turn this around, force a flash, and manage to execute... No!
Ooh.
The fear comes down, and Fiddlesticks does escape successfully.
Yep. Kennen might actually get a kill here if he plays it right. Amumu comes in from the side.
Amumu comes in from the side.
Blue team double kill.
Morgana does get a double kill with... She's able to dodge the ultimate with her spell shield. It looks like Amumu Tears is going to be too much for her, and she is going to go down.
Galio just does not care about that Leona. He's just pushing on that tower. This is now an engagement down. The ignite goes down.
2 ultimates are thrown down on Galio, but he's able to flash away and with his life.
Galio flashes the piercing arrow. The engaged top between the junglers didn't result in anything, and it looks now that Misfortune is attacking an invisible wolf, I believe, or maybe we've disconnected. I'm not honestly sure at this point. Okay, that was unique.
They added in a little bit of the preseason 4 patch. Didn't you read the notes? Wolves are now invisible.
Okay.
And you don't know if they're up or not.
I see. Anyway, Amumu looks like he's going to be sticking around in top lane, just grabbing as many minions as he can, as his Kennen is helping them push mid lane. They do find the Sejuani. I don't think they're going to be able to catch anyone out. She does charge away, and Amumu does just trade a couple minion kills with Sejuani. Morgana finds a Kennen with her dark binding, and they do manage to get a snare down to Morgana. The Misfortune ultimate cancelled prematurely, and they don't manage to get a kill.
So now the
Fiddlesticks ultimate
is
in.
ravaging just through their team. Galio might ultimate here. He does have it up. There's 2 targets. He gets both of them inside the ultimate. Tenacity from Sejuani is able to get it out a little early, but it's not enough to stop the damage. Galio picks up a double kill.
Absolutely. That was a 3-for-0 trade for the red team. The healing on both sides is, or everyone on red team is immense. Of course, we have the Galio healing, the lifesteal on Misfortune, and the Fiddlesticks drain. Looks like they are going to find this Elise. She is going to repel onto the Fiddlesticks and get feared over, but her spell shield is just going to save her from the Fiddlesticks.
Blue team is collapsing on red team. They might be able to get a kill here.
The Leona ultimate comes down, catches out Kennen. Sejuani does permafrost. Leona catches out the Fiddlesticks, and the kill goes down to Sejuani.
Sejuani is now collapsing, trying to get this Galio kill. But Misfortune picks up Leona as she goes. Mumu comes in from the side with the ultimate, and the bandage toss is able to get up the kill on Sejuani as the tornado gives a little bit of movement speed to Misfortune and Galio.
Another bandage toss catches Varus.
It's just bandage toss
will
after
we get
bandage
another
toss.
bandage toss catch?
There's the
We
stun.
do! And the triple kill for Amumu with the bandage toss tantrum combo for the ace for red team.
very, very good job for Red Team. They were very low, and they were able to capitalize on some of the mistakes that Blue Team was making, and Blue Team was able to pick up a couple kills for themselves. They noticed that Red Team was staying a lot longer than they needed to, and was able to pick up a couple of kills for themselves.
This is now a 14k, sorry, almost 14k gold lead for Troupe de Solomare. 7 and 25. Does look like they're just going to push out this wave. They aren't quite yet ready to push to win, but they do have a huge gold advantage. They have 3 champions that are really quite a threat. Of course, the Fiddlesticks ultimate has an absolutely insane amount of base damage. She does not have a ton of AP yet, but the MF ultimate, the Galio ultimate, and the Amumu, who is now very fed with the 2 spooky ghosties.
Yep.
2 spooky ghosties on Red Team. They want to slow and get vision of anyone they can catch out.
Yep.
They're just doing an incredibly good job of finding people out and CCing them to death.
I mean, it also should be noted that the item also gives movement speed itself, so it will definitely help out the members who have the ghosts to catch on to the members that they want to, along with the slow and
Especially
reveal.
Galio, who doesn't have any gap closer,
Yep.
and Mumu, who needs to be in range to cast his bandage shots.
Yep.
Blue side is really
Looks like the
doing
ghost
their best
comes
to
out
turtle
from Amumu. They're able to slow Sejuani. The bandage toss lands. Will the rest of the team be able to follow up? No.
Anyway, Red Team just pushing down middle lane, just clearing. Doesn't look like they want to dive, which is interesting, but maybe if they can catch someone out, we'll see an Amumu bandage toss. Leona, ward clearing. Doesn't look like she's going to be able to catch either one of those 2 wards out. Fiddlesticks ultimate over the wall into the cannon ultimate. The Misfortune ultimate goes down onto Elise and Sejuani. Does not manage to pick up a kill. Misfortune goes down to Morgana. 2 flashes coming out. Fiddlesticks does catch out that Sejuani. Morgana is the only one left alive. She does get caught out by Galio, trading his own life. They are going to get the inhib turret here.
And they might.
Members.
They can get an inhibitor off of this. Leona is back up, and she could possibly kill Fiddlesticks here.
Yeah, he did not get enough health back on that drain to seemingly be able to survive should Leona decide to use her full combo. But I'm not sure that she'd be able to do that with the CC that they have here.
Yep.
Yep, the inhibitor does go down for Red Team. Blue Team is just coming up now. That home guard Elise doing her best to see if she can catch anyone out. That Amumu does have 2 levels on her. Fiddlesticks clearing that top lane, trying to save that tower.
Yep. So it looks like Amumu is going bot lane, probably to heal off those minions, get some more farm, go back and grab some more items. But he is, one thing is for certain, he's definitely really strong right now. It looks like he's building a Rylai's Crystal Scepter.
That is an extremely strong item on Amumu. Of course, he does get the slow after his ultimate ends, as well as the slow on Tears and Tantrum.
Yeah, he'll be able to stick to his targets a lot better, especially since he has the slow from that, and he has the slow from Rylai's Crystal Scepter and from the Ghosts. So he'll definitely be able to stick to targets really well.
Of course, he's always packing his AoE CC.
Yep.
Anyway, we do have a pause. Not sure if we got another disconnection. We are going to go to camera quickly in case this lasts long enough for anyone to look at the stream.
Yep.
Not quite sure what's happening so far. We will see in just a moment. This is the 3rd pause. Blackout on Leona. So maybe her power died. We're not quite sure what happened here. We will see in the upcoming moments what happens. Anyway, we are just preparing to get back into game, perhaps. Varus is not being very descriptive in all chat. Amumu says yes, and we look like we
might be going in. Yep, the game is resuming.
Yep. Anyway,
we're going to
after a short
chat.
pause, the 3rd pause this game, the Sejuani ultimate does come out, does not catch anyone.
Go back to game.
I did.
Yep, okay, cool.
Anyway, just that Sejuani ultimate blown, we can see what happened here with this Leona. Fiddlesticks taunting here. We're not quite sure what's happening with Leona, actually. We're not sure if
They
we
just
may see
seem to be
another
ignoring
pause
her.
here. The spooky ghostie's coming out.
Slowing 3 people on the enemy team. Galio ultimate being able to hit 2 people. Cannon ultimate coming down.
Fiddlesticks ultimate. They are just going to catch out everyone. That is a theoretical ace. Oh, nope. Leona was actually in that fight. She did get taken out, so that is a real ace. And not just... yeah. Amumu, flashing, does get taken out by the tower. They are just going to push down on this Nexus turret. Not sure if they're going to be able to take out the other one in time.
Looks like red
There's
team is
7
going to
seconds
end it.
until Lise and Sejuani get back up. Fiddlesticks suiciding to tower. Not quite sure what the goal is here. Elise
It's a dangerous move, Con. Let's
does
see how it
take
works
out
out for her.
Kennen. Is going to get taken out herself by Misfortune.
A summoner has disconnected.
Looks like Leona did disconnect again, but I don't know that they thought it significant enough to disconnect or to pause again. So they do actually manage to come back from that. They managed to take out 3 members of
Galio's really trying to dodge that damage from
wow.
Morgana.
The healing on that Galio shield was incredible. He just takes a Morgana Tormented Soil and heals 175 health off of it instantly. The permafrost comes down from Sejuani. She does manage to catch him out with the Dark Binding, and the Morgana ultimate comes out, is going to kill him.
Looks like he isn't going to live from
Amumu
this
coming
one.
down.
But Amumu is running quite fast. He might be able to get at least one person.
He
gets
does
the
get a
bandage
bandage
toss
toss
on
under the tower, get a
Sejuani.
tantrum, and he will kill Sejuani under the tower. Misfortune does not want anything to do with that Amumu at this point. He's going to stay here. Perhaps
Looks like
engage.
Amumu wants something to do with... Oh, and the surrenders come out.
Nope.
And it is GG.
There we go. That is GG. Third game goes to Troupe de Solo Mare. They will take the November League of RIT Collegiate title.
Yep.
Anyway, we will be back in just a moment for the leaders of League of RIT to make a statement on the outcome of the tournament. And congratulations to Troupe de Solo Mare.
Why, hello there.
Hello.
It's the end of another tournament. Another GG. Good game, Terrific Battalion and Troupe de Solomare. Both played fantastic. And it was a good game all around. Fun to play. Probably. More fun to watch. So we are, once again, finishing this up by saying that we are League of RIT. We can be found at Facebook/groups/League of RIT. We're a subgroup of EGS, Electronic Gaming Society, here at RIT, whose mission it is to get students and gamers outside interacting and doing fun, cool things, which this is definitely fun and cool. So yay. The winner today of Troupe de Solomare will be able to represent RIT in the collegiate scene. So we'll be handing their information off to the higher bracketing organization. And we can all cheer them on as they sponsor nothing but represent RIT. So, yeah. It's been fun. Parker, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad
So,
you're here in this conversation.
For those of you who are still watching, if you look below the stream, you'll see that if you want to follow the collegiate games and our team as they progress through the bracket, and hopefully they make it to number 1.
Woo!
But if they don't, they're going to be streaming all the other brackets from now on. And there's a link to the rules, which will get you to the main website, and you can see all the events they're going to be doing from that point forward.
Mm-hmm.
You also see, what EGS is about. We also have a logo down there that if you click on, it will go to the EGS website. And I think that's about it. We do have a friend that would like to visit you guys. Yeah, right here.
Yeah. He seems to be a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
Brandon. He's okay.
He also says that you guys should check out the stream that I'm about to post in chat.
Yes. It's a okay stream.
Yes, it's a diamond player who goes to RIT, and he asked us to give him some vision because you guys are awesome and you're watching us.
Yo.
So now that we're done, you guys can go watch him.
Yeah.
Hello, Fat on Twinkies. Do you have a question before we end the stream?
What you gonna do? Spam, jam, da ba da ba 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 da ba da boo.
You're
Man.
awesome.
I'm awesome. Why?
Why are you awesome? Well, we gotta.
It's a feature I'm born with. I couldn't help it. At a young age, I knew I was awesome, and I knew others around me were not, and I couldn't help it. I try to cope with it every day of my life, but it's something I just have to live with from now on. It's just bullshit.
Cyborg
It's just too
1020.
awesome,
I said your name.
Quite. I didn't hear the question, but I agree.
Yeah, good.
So with that, thanks for
Hates
everyone
us.
who participated in the tournament.
Yes, thank you to everyone who participated.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for the streamers for taking time out of their wonderful day.
Yeah,
because I'm sure they weren't going to be playing League anyways.
Come on over,
To
streamers.
cast League
Yeah.
for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a spider, actually.
No, it's a fantastic otter. Quite.
So, without further ado, goodbye. Make sure you check out this stream because we're going to be bye-bye, and I'm sure you all want to watch something on Twitch. So
We're gonna be bye-bye.
yeah.
So lots of
So
love.
goodbye.
Lots of love. Hugs and kisses. See you at our next tournament. Stay classy. Sayonara. Have a good day.